Hey everybody, and welcome this week to Easy Delivery Co. This is a sleepy little wintry sort of themed delivery game, and since it's now December, I thought no better time to, kind of lean into some more wintry games, snowy games, sleepy games than now. We're hibernating, so to say. Now, anyway, I'd already mentioned that this is a delivery game. There's no reason to hold out. We'll go ahead and just start things here. Really not much more to describe than that, other than that it's a delivery game. So we've got a bit of an opening sequence here. It's not too involved. This game isn't like voice acted or anything, so I don't have a reason to be quiet during cutscenes. It also gets a little bit eerie at points. I was thinking before I came into this, do I describe those points as scary? And I'm like, well, they're not really. There's no part of this game that's really that, scary. Okay, so opening up here, make a delivery is our first job. I guess we'll go ahead and open it so we can take a look here. Available jobs nearby. So we've got Upton, which is where we're starting. Let's go ahead and just go for the more expensive one. Starting off here, they're not really that involved, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about kind of what all this means that's popping up on the screen and stuff. But for now, I just need control of the game. So we've got us in our little truck here. Welcome to Mountain Town. So, like I say, as the game kind of opens up here, we have to make a delivery. Now, you can tell which building in a town needs a delivery because they will have the light on outside. And this is our character that we're playing as here, this little black cat. And as we walk in, we can talk to our first little NPC. Yes, there are NPCs in this game. You wouldn't think it from driving around sometimes, but nope, she asks if our name is, if we're Seb, and nope, we're a new guy. So apparently Seb was the old guy, we're the new guy. I guess you're doing the deliveries now. So, this character's name is Ada. Apparently there was a deliverer before us, Seb, and we are not them. So, I'm not talking very well these days. So, she's got a bit of a stutter, but that's alright. I guess I do too, sort of. Anyway, we can load our truck up with the items that we have. It kind of, as you're driving around and stuff, you might get kind of nervous that it gets knocking around and stuff, but you don't fail the jobs that you do if stuff of yours breaks. And in fact, the only thing that you lose by your shit getting broken or falling out of the truck and stuff like that is tip money. So really not worth worrying about. So we have made our first delivery. Now there is actually something we have to contend with in this game. Lots of bars, a little bit of management here and there. So as we're standing around outside, which I'm going to do here, you'll notice the edges of my screen starting to freeze up and frost over. So there is a freezing mechanic in this game. And then while we're in the car, you'll notice on the left there, 2 bars. On the leftmost, that's our energy, our character's energy. And then beside that is a full and empty bar. And we're all the way full. You can probably guess that is the gas. All the way to the left is our energy and then our gas. So let's take a look at our goals and what our jobs are and stuff. So we have made our first delivery, and I suppose I can go ahead and open us up with another job here. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, another Easy Flowers job. Okay, let's go back to Easy Flowers. So it's just going to open us up here with some real, basic deliveries, which is good for us. It's so funny. I got back in the saddle a little bit in terms of controls and stuff. Before I started this back up, because I have already beaten this once before. We're going for all the endings. I don't think I made clear either. So this is kind of cool. An NPC that's actually outside instead of inside, so we can talk to them. They're humming a little tune. Hey there, quote-unquote new guy. It looks like your map is missing some data. I can fix it for you, but I'll need something in return. Buy me an energy drink from the vending machine over there, and we'll call it even. Alright, sure. And because they have a little fire here, it doesn't freeze us while we're outside. So we have to buy an energy drink. Now I kind of am not sure where the nearest energy drink is, but I'm gonna just load our nearest vending machine is. Nice to see you again, she says. So you're gonna be able to glean small parts of the story from this game, and even though I've played this game once before, I don't really remember much I remember a very basic idea of what I thought the story was, and then as I was kind of rereading the Steam page and stuff, I was like, well, that's not quite what I remember the story being. So anyway, of course our vehicle here isn't I wouldn't call it, it's not as powerful as it gets in the end game. We've got different upgrades that we can buy and stuff. So he had mentioned, the character that we just talked to, that our map is kind of broken, because if you open up jobs, you can see that not only is our map glitchy, it only shows us this one little tiny place up in the top right. So we've got to get that fixed by purchasing a drink. Now, all of our, well, I won't say all, most of our objectives are all money-based. Like you can see this one here for energy drink, where we have to buy an energy drink for $4.75. So that is what we're going to do. You can see our money in the bottom left, which I just spent most of it on an energy drink just now. And we've got like an inventory we can put stuff into. I'm going to go ahead and just buy a second one. One for us and one for the guy who wants one. Doesn't that sound nice? Anyway, they'll talk a little bit more about what these bars and stuff actually do once I go to deliver one of these energy drinks to this guy. And like I said, I don't know, he's nice. I like the little tune that he's humming. I don't know how loud I'll be able to have a bunch of this game, but a deal is a deal. Here you go. So he fixes up our map, and he tells us to actually keep the drink. You'll need it. So we need it more than he does. You have to maintain your energy on heavy to take on heavy deliveries. This character's name is MK. He used to do maintenance for the same company that we work to deliver for. Actually, if you believe it, I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler, but every company in this town is owned by the same Easy Co. So if we go into there's Easy Flowers and Easy Pizza and Easy Mart. So anyway, he's telling us that we need to get a lighter, I think was what he was saying. So our goal, which we've completed, was the energy drink. Up next, buy a lighter from the depot. You'll have to earn some more money first. So we'll go ahead and tag that as our objective, and let's go ahead and look at the job. Oh yeah, you know what? Something I didn't even bring up yet. Let's look at jobs just real quick. Weston to Easton. Let's do a big job. So we have to travel to a nearby town. So this is actually the full map for now. You can see we are located up here in Upton, and then up this way is where we came in from, which is now blocked by some trees that fell down. I'll show that to you shortly. Then over here we have just kind of a loop and a radio tower, and then we keep following the road down. This is going to make more sense whenever we can compare this map to what I actually do. And they want us to pick up a package from Weston and then deliver it to Easton, which we can do no problem. And while we're there, we'll probably get gas. I don't know. You never know what might happen in a crazy gameplay like this. Pick up from Easy Depot. I think that's the gas station. All right, so I had said that there are trees down in the road in an area that we have to go to this way. So what MK had just told us is that we have to burn down those, well, they look like sticks to me. I guess they are trees. Those trees that are in the way. So now we have to follow the road. Very windy, very snowy. Things can happen like if I just drove off the left there, you might think it's kind of a shortcut, but our vehicle will actually explode. So I'm not going to do that. Now, I don't actually like some of these radio stations, so I might flick through them. I can actually turn it off if I really just don't like the radio as like a whole. Supposed to be able to. Okay, maybe I can't control it because it's the opening. Oh well, that's fine. I like this music. I like this song regardless. I was just going to turn it off and then right back on. So the Upton radio tower. I'm actually going to stop here real quick and see if I can interact with what's inside of here. Can't remember if we can or not, but we can turn on more music to pick from whenever we turn on radio stations. So I'm just going to stop and activate that one right now. I know it's not really a spoiler. I'm not really neglecting to explain anything. I guess it's just as simple as that. We get more radio stations, the more of the towers that are active. Alright, so following the road down. So, like I said, there's a lot of looping around until we eventually go to Weston, and then we can travel to Easton. We don't have very much money right now, but on the bright side, our gas tank is full, and our... Oh, what is that? Our energy is kind of down a little bit, but we have 2 energy drinks because even though MK said that, he wanted one, he let us keep it. Now, for some reason, my radio is being very funny. It must have something to do with just the game takes control of the radio for a little while away from you, at least here at the beginning. I don't know, because Well, I certainly don't like that the radio station keeps changing, but alright. Yeah, there it is again. It just went again. Wouldn't this be a funny way to discover I have like a keylogger or something on my computer? There's I've been ratted, bro. Alright, so we are in Weston, and we are looking for, what was it? It was like Easy Supply or something like that on the other side of town. I think it's actually as I whip around here, because we have the delivery little tags, but as I said, if you're looking for which store it is whenever you go into a town, it's the only one with a light on. So alright, we can talk to this character. They say, I'm Fortino, not that it matters. Can you keep a secret? Sure, why not? I don't even care. I'm hopelessly in love with Ellie at the bakery. So there's like little kind of story that takes place in between the different characters and stuff. This is actually going to be pretty heavy for something we have to deliver, but it should be okay because we're just going to Weston, or Easton. I'm going to pop back in Easy Depot so we can look at some stuff for sale. Energy drinks for sale, duct tape for sale, tea bags. I can talk about what most and all this stuff does here soon enough. Firewood for sale. I just want to kind of peruse what's for sale. $30 for a lighter, so that's what we're working towards anyway. Alright, hopping in the truck and taking us over to Easton. This is Weston, we're headed to Easton now. We're going to become very acquainted with these places as we travel through them. Good thing, there is like some slipping and sliding to, our movement, but it's not so bad. So this way to Easton, or at least I think this is the way, this is the way to Easton. And like I said, whenever we go to deliver this, we'll actually have a waypoint, so that's nice. On the pickup, we don't get waypoints, but on the drop-offs, we do. Jeez Louise. I just pumped my brakes like a very little bit there, and it whipped around like that. Oh well. Okay, so now we are looking for where we're going to deliver this, and I thought, you know what, let's take a look at the map. It is about middle of the way down this road, it should be. Is it going to the... No, it's going to the pawn shop. Oh, okay. So I can go ahead and drop this package off at the pawn shop, and I'm going to pop into the pawn shop so we can see, what they have for sale here. They have blind bags, and I thought they had something else important here for me, but maybe not. I also don't know what these are about. I think these are maybe decorations that we can like get for ourselves, like scarves and stuff. Yeah, I bet. So you buy a blind bag, open it. So those are like little mystery bags. Alright, whatever. Let's go buy some gas, and then maybe I'll pick up another job. We're getting close to being able to afford the lighter. What I don't want to do is like complete the most recent mission, and then it's like, oh, you're completely out of energy. So I am going to, I'm going to drink before we go, and I'm just going to drink one energy drink here real quick. Toss it. And then hop into here. All these places are heated, so you restore your freezing as you're inside of a store. Alright, welcome to Easy Fuel. I'm Gus. So we've met Gus, and this guy says he only sells fuel. Have a terrible day. So he's a little rude. It costs us $10 to refuel our car or truck, and we're going to need probably an expensive job to get us the rest of that lighter. Easton to Upton is a pretty big job. Upton to Weston, that means I would have to go to Upton first. You know what? Since we're in Easton, I'll just take an Easton to Upton job. Alright, a little bit of a trek, but that's okay. At least it pays very well. So this is coming from the pawn shop I saw. So we're going to swing by the pawn shop where we just were. Maybe I should have picked up the job before I went and got gas. But how could I have predicted that? Alright, popping into the pawn shop to pick up our stuff. We actually can probably talk to this guy now. So they say that we seem familiar. Do I know you? We probably look a lot like the Seb guy from before that they know. This character's name is Cece. Too many characters for me to remember. I don't really form kind of parasocial relationships too much with characters in games like this, so it's hard for me to remember their names. But to be fair, the same thing is true for people that I see daily sometimes, like at work and stuff, so maybe it's better to say I'm bad with names than that I don't get too attached to these characters. So, I don't know. It's kind of coming up on nighttime now. I'm going to kick on the headlights here. Like I said, sometimes this game can get it kind of eerie a little bit, but there's nothing really, you don't ever have to worry about jump scares or anything. Honestly, this game probably has a better chance of making you sad than it does like making you scared, I guess. There's a train that kind of runs in the background here. You might notice that's gonna, like, if you're like, what the hell is that way off in the distance? Well, it's just a train running on the tracks. We are blowing up through Weston now. Now, I was thinking, as I was, I was thinking, what do because it's the weekend, right? I'm like, all right, let's get some recording done. What do I want to play? And I was like, well, we've got winter coming up here. I was like, I think I'm going to play Easy Delivery Co. And I was like, I think I'm going to go out to eat tonight just because it's the weekend. And I was like, I'm going to go out to eat, and then I'm going to, play that Easy Delivery Co. And then it started to snow a little bit this evening, of all things. And I was like, no way. And then I went and I pumped some gas, and I was like, you know what? I think it's almost been faded. I think I need to play Easy Delivery Co. tonight, just kind of the vibe that I was getting. And then I guess it's been more rainy here lately than anything, but it snowed a little bit today, and I was like, well, I guess it's official. Winter's here with the first snowfall of the night. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Whenever I was a little kid, we're gonna go off topic a lot for this playthrough. Sorry. Whenever I was a little kid, I remember being 5 or 6 years old. This would have put us at 2003, 4, 5, something like that. There was this snowfall, and I remember as a little kid that snowfall came down so hard it went above my head. And my mom, she lived alone with me and a couple of my brothers and sisters at the time. I think I'd had 2 sisters at the time. And she was so worried about the upcoming snow that she went and stayed with her parents. We all went, of course. And I don't know. I remember that as probably, I'll never forget that, how high that snow got. And I would like to live in a place that gets snow like that again. That would be really, I don't know. I don't have any want to move from where I live or anything. I'm happy enough in the place that I live, but, I don't know, I miss that snow crazy, because nowadays I get some snow and some ice, and then I gotta drive to work in it, of all things. So, okay, so we can pick up a lighter at that store. It's going to be bouncing a lot between, just telling stories and just kind of hanging out. So I want to go to grab this lighter. I want to pick up this job that is Upton to Weston, because, I want to pick up the lighter. So we pick up a package here, and then we got to drive to Weston anyway, so we might as well drive that way. We pick up from Easy Eats, which I can't remember if that's a pizza place, or I don't know what this place is. Is this the little supermarket? No, it's called Easy Mart Supermarket, isn't it? Yeah, this is a little diner type deal. Howdy, whippersnapper. Are you very old or something? Jeepers, you look like the spitting image of Seb. So we must have looked quite a bit like Seb. The spitting image, they say, but no one listens to old Tui. Yuck. That's kind of a gross name. Alright, don't let them work you too hard. No, of course not. Oh, hey, it is like pizzas, isn't it? Alright, cool. So we're going to deliver a whole mess of pizzas. The other day I went and I picked up a pizza from just our local, little pizza place, and, I went in there and they said, "What'd you order?" And I said 50 pizzas. And they were like, "What?" I was like, no, I just got the regular large pepperoni and cheese. Now, you tell me, am I crazy for this? Whenever I order a pizza, I say, can I get, because I just like my normal pizza unless I go to Pizza Hut or something. I tell, whenever I'm ordering over the phone, I'm like, yes, could I get a large pepperoni and cheese pizza? But I was talking to a friend of mine who's, I guess I would describe where I live as rural, and he lives in an extremely urban area. And he was like, "Why do you bother saying cheese?" He's like, "Cheese automatically comes on the pizza." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to confuse. I don't know. I just always have ordered it with just say cheese, just cheese and pepperoni, please." And I never have had an issue. I don't know. Maybe it's something I saw an adult do whenever I was young, but I do it now. So, I don't know. He dunks on me a little bit for it because let's say the weekend's here and I'm like, I want a Discord call with him. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna order a pizza, and he's like, all right, and I call ring, and I'm like, hey, can I get a to-go order, please? Yeah, can I get one large cheese pizza? And I can hear I can't hear what he's saying because I've got the headset off, but I can hear him complaining about it. Oh man. Anyway, so I couldn't imagine that your pizzas would stay very warm on a truck like this, right? That's kind of my first knee jerk reaction for this is that the pizzas would probably get cold. But on that same thought, I was worried there. I thought I was losing control of my vehicle. On that same thought, like, this would be, like, on a cold-ass day like this, I sort of assume that it's always snowing and cold like this, but, like, cold, snowing, ordering a pizza to your house, I imagine you would probably have, like, a lot of people at your house with this many pizzas. Oh, my God. This would be, basically, like, a party's worth of people and some pizzas. That would be awesome. All right, so I'm going to pull my car up to where the market was earlier, and pick up that lighter. Where are we going? The depot? And I might even pick up another short job. Is there any that goes from Weston to Upton? Whoa, 105 kilograms. That's probably going to be very heavy. Where am I picking that up from? Probably that place I was just from. Easy Bakery. Oh, okay. And that's where this guy who's crushing on that girl, this is where she works, so we can get to meet both of them. The starstruck lovers, I guess, kind of. Well, we'll talk to her and see what she thinks. I'm hopelessly in love with Ellie, but they don't even see me. Surely it's not because I hide behind a building whenever I see them. You know, it's so funny. You'll never see anybody outside, really, besides that. What was that guy's name? MK? I'll just be here. Cool. So now we have a lighter. This is a permanent addition, and we can use it as much as we want. A little sort of addition to the lighter. Let me see. I'm going to have to put her up. Is if I go outside and I'm holding the lighter, it negates the cold like a very little bit, like a percentage, like 10%. So we have a job here, if I'm not mistaken. We'll just have to, you know what? I think I'm also going to pick up, I think I'm going to pick up 2 energy drinks, but I don't think I'm going to drink them right yet. Because we're about to get a different kind of a bonus, I think. Like, we're going to get a free drink here in a minute, and I don't want to waste it. All right, I'm putting my stuff away because I'm worried about freezing. Now, we can run out of gasoline in our truck. Now, I don't know if you guys ever played the old Mafia games, but they had this element to them too, where you could run out of fuel, but it wouldn't like break. Let's talk to this guy actually real quick. I'm Ellie, so this is the character that guy is in love with. Who are you? She says. They call me the crazy one. Ever taken a bite out of one of those packages? What packages? Like these, I think that's tea she's got behind her. Do you think they should teach dolphins how to read? I don't know. Probably not. I think that they tried once. They like thought that dolphins had the capacity for language, but and then they tried to like have a woman live with this dolphin. That's a old ass story. That's like 1940s. But I think the conclusion to that was dolphins don't have the capacity for language. You know, I wish I could remember what this was called, but there was another sort of scam deal where, I don't know how intentional it was, but there was a guy and he had a horse, and he had advertised this horse like to locals, like, you know, back hundreds of years ago, of course. But he had like advertised this horse as like this horse can do math, and then what he would do is like people would come out and be like, okay, what's all right? How about 8 times 2? And then that guy would like tap the horse like, you know, 16 times to make it tap its foot 16 times, and that's what the whole gimmick was. So they ended up having, like, I don't know, back in the day when this was the only thing to investigate or whatever, they had like investigators come out and were like, you know, figuring out like, you know, what the deal was. Wait, energy. Oh, okay. So it's telling me to get out. I'm just gonna drink one quick thing. It's got me worried now that all these tooltips are popping up. Yeah, just low on energy. That's okay. I'm gonna just take a little drink and toss it out. There we are. You know, back in the day, whenever I guess that's all that there really was to do was just investigate the horse they can count. Wow, I've kind of lost the plot a little bit in my head. I didn't realize that we were going to be going off the rails so strong already. Okay, so we're going to deliver this and then go light those trees on fire, and then go visit... what was it called? MK. The only reason I can remember it is because I keep thinking back to MK Ultra. All right, so this is where I have a delivery, right? Am I not? Yeah, okay, it must be on the other side of town. Maybe it's like Easy Flowers or something. Yeah, I really don't like this song. Ugh. Well, maybe it'll get better. Anyway, Yeah, it looks like it's probably an Easy Flowers delivery, so hard to tell what would be in these packages, but whatever, she needs it. There we go. That's like a simple little, what was it, like 11, 12 bucks or so. Cool. No, 16 bucks. That's still really good. Lots of crows and stuff around. So now that it's dark and nighttime and we have our lighter. Whoops, I hate that we get out on that side. I'm so used to, I bet the person who made this is not American, not used to that, that side of the truck getting out of, I guess. All right. Anyway, we wait for this to burn. It's not going to take that long, and it's kind of pretty, the effect of it while it burns and stuff. Wow. And then we'll get some like vehicle upgrades and stuff as we play too. But this is just kind of letting us know about buying stuff and like how basically, deliveries are going to go. Pretty soon we're going to get inner city deliveries, as they're called, where they're like neighboring towns and stuff, and we can do deliveries between them for more money. All right, so it's pretty much, burned completely up. I don't think you can like hurt your truck or yourself by like walking into that fire or anything. So MK wanted us to visit him at his cabin. Now as the level loads, there we go, it's going to stay very your view distance is going to be very little until it finally opens up. All right, so the road is kind of precarious and is not it doesn't get any better is all I'm going to say, but our truck does get upgrades over time. I think right now it's just kind of teaching you that, like, snow sucks and you probably need some snow tires, which I think are the next upgrade for us. So I don't want to take my truck too far off road. I just think it might get kind of stuck, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna hoof it over to MK's cabin and see what he has to say. I'm just looking to see if there's anything I can interact with. Doesn't look like it. All right, we'll talk to him. Cool. He's humming his little song again. Welcome. It's been a while since someone else was over, so we're his first guest in a little while. Sorry about the mess. Here as they promised. So I think they just gave us a coffee. Coffee is a much better energy source than energy drinks. It takes some effort to prepare, but it'll last a lot longer. Besides, anything good in life takes a little effort, they say. You remind me of my good friend Seb. So Seb was good buddies with this character too. I would venture to say they were a little more than friends, but we'll talk more about that shortly. So to brew your own coffee, you'll need a cooking pot. There's one for sale here at the depot, so we can buy a cooking pot from a place here in town near this guy, but you're free to use mine anytime. But we have the ability to use this guy's like little cooking joint whenever we want. So why don't we brew ourselves more coffee before we go? Now, forget if he gives us coffee here. Anyway, a word of warning, Snowy Peaks has treacherous, uneven terrain. You'll need snow tires, and we can purchase those at the Easy Auto down the road. Good luck out there, they say. All right, cool. So let me go through my inventory. So we have a regular coffee, we have energy drink, a lighter. No, it does not look like they gave us any coffee to brew. So that was a little bit useless to tell us to go ahead and cook up our own coffee since we can't yet. I don't want to look at jobs just yet. I want to... So we did the lighter quest. I can tag that completed. Visited the cabin. We can tag that completed. Snow tires. Wow, I can actually afford those. I think I'm going to go buy those, right? Purchase snow tires from the auto shop. You'll need them to leave or access the rest of Snowy Peaks. Yes, sir. All right, so $29.99. And then... you know what? Let's go ahead and drink. Oh, that is coffee powder I have. Why did I think I didn't have coffee? I don't know. Anyway, I think that we can also brew tea, which helps keep us warm. But let me go ahead and cook this coffee powder. Maybe I saw like the energy drink first, and I don't know. It's not that important. So anyway, he's nice enough to let us use his little stove here to cook our coffee. Now, I think, yeah, we can get 3 coffees from one cooking joint. So that is now empty. That is also a pot that he has there. So that there's always going to be a fire going in a pot there. But for us anyway, we'll have to buy firewood and then light a fire and then have a pot to be able to cook coffee. All right. So let's turn around and go to... I still have the map. Like, does the map function for here? Yes, it does. I'm going to head down this road and visit the tire... what is it? It's like an auto shop. so I guess the tire store by extension. Yeah, like I said, things that get a little more precarious on the roads and stuff now. It is nice that they have the like little red light things so that you can tell, like, you know, what places like where the road kind of ends, even though you can't see the road because of the snow. So is there anything to purchase in here? I guess there's more mystery bags, but I don't want to. I'm looking for something specific in one of these pawn shops, I think, for one of the endings. Anyway, headed into the Easy Auto now, where we can buy these snow tires, which should let us drive a little bit better. Alright, oh, hey Seb, it's me, Reed. So again, we look like Seb, we've been mistaken again as Seb, but we're not Seb, we're somebody else. Man, I keep forgetting things. Who are you again? Snow tires, these will help you drive in deep snow. Okay, so it cost us $29.98, pretty cheap for snow tires, but maybe if it's like a bike snow tires or something, I don't know. Just bought snow tires not all that long ago. Alright, so we have a new upgrade in the snow tires. So I'm going to get close to this fire, and then I'm going to confirm the snow tires are done. And I'm just going to well, we also brewed coffee. I'm going to see what job this guy gives us real quick. Okay, right on. You got yourself some snow tires. You'll have no problem driving in snowy peaks now. No, sir. I'll be heading to Fishing Town soon through the tunnel in Easton. There's something I could really use your help with. Okay, cool. So we have to go to Easton and help this guy out. Forget... No, I guess there's no other real job besides that. I'm going to do a little bit of delivering here in town. Oh, this is inner city, actually. Ooh. Where does it want me to go to? It wants me to go up to here. I think that's Lopton. Yeah, it wants me to go to Lopton and then deliver to... I guess it doesn't really matter, but it's going to be a city besides the one that we're in. So, right? Is that what it wants me... No, it wants me to pick up from Munton, which we are located right here, right now. And Munton is where the pickup is, and the delivery is, I think we can... No, we can't punch it. Whatever, I'm not that worried. I know that it's going to be a paying job. Okay, it's going to... or maybe we're going to pick up from the Easy Mart. Alright, so we got a little bit more control in the snow now, which is really nice. A little bit more. But they are, you know, it is still... snowy out, so snowy and icy. I think there are upgrades like, you know, you can drive faster, you can like knock into trees without your vehicle exploding, so like a bumper essentially. We've got different tools we can pick up, like a fishing rod eventually. We've got a pot that's currently for sale, which we can use to brew coffee. We're doing okay on fuel. There's no like fuel efficiency upgrade or anything, I don't think, so. Oh, I was talking earlier about, like, Mafia, so I don't know if you guys ever played, like, the original Mafia, and I don't even know if it was the original Mafia or Mafia 2. Oh, goodness, I think I'm gonna have to sneeze. Uh-oh. Holy schmoly. Alright, sorry about that. So, you know, it's funny, I never came close to even having this issue, like, in my entire life. But I went to school with somebody, and every time they sneezed, it was like a snot explosion. I don't know if you guys ever have watched Codename Kids Next Door, but I think that guy's name was the Common Cold or something like that. It was just this dude who was sick all the time, and he like... well, that was his supervillain gimmick, and whenever he like shot he had like this little toy like gun that shot like, you know, like goop, and it was like just his snot. And I went to school with somebody once, and I guess we'll pick this up here real quick. Hey mate, welcome, I'm Theo. Oh, this is a different character. How have things been so far? Looks like you're doing great. The more time you spend with the locals, I'm sure the more they'll like you. I'm sure you are correct. Cool, we're delivering beer. Anyway, I was saying, so this kid I went to school with, well, kid, he's my age, and I'm 27 now. But I went to school with him, right? And he whenever he sneezed, and he was always like polite insofar as he would put both hands over his like nose and mouth. I'm trying to be careful not to fall off here. Both hands over his nose and mouth. He would go to sneeze, and it would just be like plethoras of snot. I'm trying to think what you could even compare it to. Like, you ever seen people play with like the goo that is like the children play with. I don't know. It was popular like right after I stopped buying children's shit. But like goo or like Play-Doh or something, like just completely covered this guy's hand in just snot, both hands. And I always felt bad for him because like every time that he did it, he'd be like, "Can I please go to the bathroom?" And he wasn't like joking. He was a little bit of a dickhead any of the time I ever knew him. He's a fine adult now. I'm sure that everybody I ever grew up with is a fine adult now. But like he was a little bit of a dickhead as a little kid. And you know, he wasn't beyond just pulling the wool over your eyes to just go fuck around or whatever. But no, that boy, he seriously had to go to the bathroom because his hands were just coated in snot. And it would always be so funny because, you know, sometimes in like, because I went to school with him all those years. Sometimes, you know, he sat behind me in class. Sometimes he sat in front of me. Oh, we dropped a couple bottles of beer. That's okay. It's probably giving us the tutorial on why that's not a big deal. We can drop like some parts of it. It doesn't matter. The only time that you get penalized is if the whole package falls out and then like you have to replace the whole joint. Well, you don't replace it, but you get less tip money. Okay, so I was saying that, like, you know, even if he sat behind me some years, you would hear him sneeze, and I would just smile because I knew what was coming next. It would be like, "Hey, Mr. Brown, can I please go to the bathroom?" And you would look at the guy, just hands just completely covered in snot. I guess that's kind of a gross story, isn't it? Anyway, we'll maybe try and draw things back to the game here. Let's see where we have a delivery to. Oh, Upton. That's really not that big of a job. We might as well go visit the fishing town while we're here, too. Get our little job for there. All right. So where are we delivering to? We'll get a little tag for it here soon enough. Right there. All right, I'll grab this stuff and drop it in. I'm kind of glad, you know, I was thinking about this game because a lot of games, I think I've played like some different delivery games here now. Obviously, like games kind of judge you based on like how generally like you know, how intact is the item. It's not like too fucked up or anything. Oh hey, now I've got control over the radio. That's good. So I must have had to like transition areas. Cool. Anyway, you know, how intact it is, how quick you are. I'm really glad that this game, like, doesn't penalize you unless you, like, lose the whole fucking thing. Because otherwise, you would just see me driving around real slow and, like, trying my best to get all the money that I can. I probably also should have... Can I get a job from Weston to Easton, maybe? No, not an inner city. We want a local one. That's the difference between these two, is local to inner city. So, Weston... Oh, it wants me to deliver just simply in Weston. Why? This job that's in Weston just wants me to deliver in Weston, but this one that pays less here right below it wants me to deliver Weston to Easton. Whatever. Whatever. Hey, I'll take the simple little easy one. I don't know. I like games like this. You know, it's nice. I really like these two. Like this is the kind of games that I like sort of as like a playthrough or whatever. But... like, to play these make me incredibly sleepy. Like, extremely sleepy. Last game I can think of that it was kind of like this was kind of like Slime Rancher. I think I'm going to make, like, a little playlist eventually of, like, just relaxing games. And I'm going to put this in it because games that I'm thinking of in that are, like, Slime Rancher, now this game. I'm going to eventually play House Flipper, which is where, like, you clean up and sell and... buy houses and, like, you know, spruce them all up and stuff. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So what store? Pick up from the bar. I actually think that's right around the corner here. So all right, and then we'll get gas at the next store that we... No, is this ain't the fishing place, is it? Hold on. No, that's the factory. That's like the very last place we'll go. Oh, there's the bar. There it is. I almost drove right clean past it if it wasn't for the light. So we'll have another new character to meet. Yo, he says, new delivery guy. I'm 6-0. Oh, that's an interesting name. Listen, I have an investment opportunity that'll knock your socks off. Just let me think of it. Respect. I like that guy's game. All right, so we'll pop that on the back. No wonder it's so heavy. Oh, and we aren't even really going to have to drive it this far. Oh, shit, it is very heavy. Oh, I just hit the gas and it caused my whole car to just like, oof. Wow, this isn't a very far delivery at all. Cool. So the crazy bakery girl is asking for a lot of booze. Whatever. All right. Now, here's another question. Should I just go ahead and do another Weston to Easton delivery just kind of while we're here? might as well. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to pick up, I didn't see what store it said to pick up from, but I'll just keep my eye out for the lights. Probably the market, if I had to guess. We've got 41 bucks, so we're doing pretty good on money. No, it was not the market or the depot. It's down this way. I don't even remember what all stores there are in the game at this point. There's the train running in the background. Like I said, this game has the potential to get very eerie at points, but okay, so which way should I be going here? So we're picking up from the Easy Cafe, which is located... Why is my map being funny? Okay, it's located on the lower part here, so we should continue down towards Easton. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't miss wherever this... It said, not the bakery, right? No, the cafe, that's right. So easy to get them confused. Alright. And inside of here, we've got another new character. Fancy seeing you here. They say, I heard we had a different delivery driver, but I didn't know you'd be so handsome. Wow, you're making me blush. My name is Fit, or call me the love of your life. It's really your choice. Oh my goodness, you're a charmer, you know that. All right, we'll put that on the back of our truck and head to wherever we're going. So you can we're probably, just the way that this thing is kind of driving right now, we're probably going to see, yep, some packages sort of fall off, which is nice for me anyway, because makes my truck lighter. And again, we don't get penalized for it, so might as well make the most of it as we can. Alright, so we are looking... I don't even know where we're supposed to be delivering. Oh, to another Easy Mart? Yeah, another Easy Mart. Gotcha. Alright, cool. We will drop this off inside. That's quite a few packages. Big ones, too. Oh, I keep forgetting we don't have to go inside. Alright, so that was kind of like pocket change, but that's okay because it's still like a fair amount of money in my estimation for the job that we just had to do. I'm actually kind of running a little low on energy, and I'll have to remember to get gas once we get done in the mountain town here. Or, yeah, this is the mountain town. The fishing town, that's right. Tunnel to fishing town. Alright, so we'll get our... job over here. So we're getting some more big inner city stuff kind of squared away here, so we can do big deliveries eventually. Get like $100 or whatever, maybe even close to 200. All right, let's go talk to MK and see what he has to say, what he needs from us. Alright, so apparently this used to be a bustling fishing village before EasyCo took over the hydro dam. They blocked off the whole area for everyone but employees and locals. So this is another like big companies bad kind of game like Stardew Valley, but not nearly as preachy, I guess. It probably killed every business here besides the ones owned by EasyCo. So, now EasyCo owns everything. I actually need your help to infiltrate the dam. There's some supplies there that we'll need. To get your truck past this security gate, we'll have to reactivate all the local radio stations. So we've already reactivated one, and I think there's 4 in total we have to reactivate. It seems to be a strange failsafe implemented by EasyCo. I recommend buying yourself a cooking pot while you're at it. I'll make the trip to the other side first. So this character is going to go ahead and go on the other side of this gate magically while we have to open the gate. Alright, so I'm going to pop into the gatehouse here, and we have to activate 3 radio stations to open this. And then we'll have to come here and flip the switch, of course. Yes, I said that we need to go get gas. I'm going to go ahead and drink another coffee. So that puts us at what? 4 that we've drank, or 4 in total that we've gotten, and 2 that we've drank. So energy drinks get outclassed by coffee pretty quickly and pretty easily. I just like to have the energy drinks just kind of in case. So just in case you need them. Alright, I do like the level transition loading there. It is funny though, because there's like some places that you'll level transition load to, and I'll come out of a level transition, I'm like, oh shit, I almost went off the edge. That happens quite a bit. Anyway, we are now looking for the gas station, which I thought was a lot closer than it appears for... Well, it appears... Oh, okay, so they're on the clean other side of town. Gotcha. I knew that Easton had like a kind of like a left and a right to it, and it looks like this is where we need to be, this side of Easton. And then we'll get gasoline. Maybe it'll be like $20-25. Gasoline is probably one of the most expensive recurring costs in this game. Alright, let's fuel up. What's he have to say? He says, whatever they're paying you, I'll pay you slightly less to go away. Oh my goodness, $37.50? Golly, that's like an arm and a leg. Oh well. let's see. Let's pick up a big delivery job. We'll do this one. It's going to be a big delivery from Weston to somewhere in, so the bar over in Weston to somewhere up in Snowy Peaks, which is coincidentally where I'm going to go for our next radio station. I'm also going to try to do another, like I'm going to try to get the other radio station here. Maybe I'll try to do that first. I have kind of a squirrely way that I want to do it, but the game like nudges you to get the cooking pot and then cook tea to get where you're going on this one. Oh, the low signal ones are like apparently the radio stations I haven't turned on yet. Gotcha. That makes sense. And then I also think there's a bonus one at the. Did I just? No. I didn't miss Weston yet. No. I need to just continue on this road. That's right. Getting a little bit lost here, which isn't a good sign. No, I'm. This goes up, yeah, because Weston has like an upper and a lower. Easton has a left and a right side. That's right. All right. Let's pop into the bar after being horrifically confused. Now, I wonder if it's going to be another big, like 4 containers of beer. All right, hear me out. Imagine a machine could do what you're doing, but somehow worse, with a larger margin of error, and it costs decades of environmental decline. Okay, I'm hearing you out. Now, where's the profit? I've heard out the rest of the stupidness to it. Now, let's hear the profit side of things. Anyway, now headed over to Snowy Peaks. This, I think I remember looking like it was going to pay pretty well, so I bet we have to go somewhere pretty deep over in Snowy Peaks. I always, there's a stretch of road that runs behind my house. And I know I'd said earlier that I live in like a pretty rural area, but I still have like next door neighbors and stuff, and there is a stretch of road that runs along the back of my house. And one time we had a delivery driver. He had one of the bigger trucks. I don't know if it was like FedEx or one of the like littler companies than FedEx, but they had a big old truck. Like it looks like the big moving trucks. What are they? I can't think of what those moving trucks are called, but people use them to like rent to go like place to place and deliver stuff. Or not deliver stuff. Like if you're going to move like East Coast to West Coast, you would like rent one of these trucks to like move all your stuff. But it's like a big truck like that, so like about a half semi size. And there was just one winter. That poor girl. It was about a youngish to middle ages, like older adult to middle ages woman, and she had like one tire off the edge of that road that's behind our house. And I mean, I don't know the first thing about moving a semi myself, but she ended up having to call like a towing company for help, and they came and like helped her. And it was kind of funny-ish, but just the second that they got that poor girl back on the road there, she still had to back it out just the way that the truck was, like back that road that I've described, that big long road, and it's going uphill the whole time. So she's backing it down. She went up it to deliver this, and then she lost her tire trying to back down, and then not like fell off, but like it went off of the road. And as she's backing up that truck, right, they've fixed it or whatever. The tow truck has come and put it back on the road. That poor girl just like goes to back up, and what does she do? She just comes right off of it again. Oh, poor girl. All right, where are we delivering to? Looks like somewhere up here in Lopton, which is coincidentally by the cooking pot, which I might just purchase while I'm out. We still have to turn on radio towers. This one here, I think, is probably going to be a bear. The radio tower we have to turn on here. I'm not looking forward to this one. All right, let's just maybe deliver this first, and then we'll start belly aching. How's that sound? Anyway, it's kind of late at night here, in game for me anyway. I think it's like, I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock. It's been getting dark at like 4. It's been getting dark so early. So that's, I guess, how you know it's wintertime. I suppose I don't want to like do a Facebook mom meme where they're like, I just feel like that's what lame middle-aged parents are like posting online. That's like, good golly, it's getting dark at 4 o'clock. Whatever. I don't know. I wish there was more to talk about with this game, but there are big lapses in between A and B. Hopefully my audience isn't too upset by just me kind of talking about whatever. So, Lopton, I believe we get to the upper part by going left here. And it also kind of seems like the radio station is doing whatever it wants right now. So, I guess I'll just let it do whatever it wants. Not like me fighting with it ever does anything more productive anyway. Alright, so our delivery. Where is this even located? Almost bar to bar. I don't know why you ordered from a town over cafe, but instead of just ordering from the one right beside you. But hey, who am I to judge? Now we're looking for, right? We're looking for this cooking pot. We got how much money from that? Can I see my money? Yeah, we got $78, and we can pick up a cooking pot. I think it's from the depot here. Alright, I'm going to pop in and just grab it real quick. Hopefully this is, yeah, the depot, or the cooking pot here. Cool, we got $78. I might even be able to get firewood at this rate. So this guy says, I couldn't find any flowers. So this is the guy who's like in love with that girl. Do you think a pile of dirt makes a good gift? I would not give anybody a pile of dirt as a gift. Okay, so another kind of like a quest item that we'll get to keep, in that we have a cooking pot and a lighter now. How much is firewood? Yeah, I figured it was kind of expensive. Okay, well then, I'm going to grab two things. Oh, I think I accidentally put it in my inventory. Okay, good. It just like put it back on the shelf there. Okay, so he says, I couldn't find any flowers. Again, do you think a pile of dirt makes a good gift? That'll cost $7. All right, so we have one coffee thing. I don't see a reason to buy another coffee just yet. I'm going to go ahead and just drink my, well, I guess I have 2 energy drinks. I thought I had less than that. Whatever. I'm going to drink the one and then just I want to pick up a local delivery, I think. Something maybe that gives a little bit more money than this. Let's see, that $12.92 is our best bet. Oh, or Winton to Mutton. Okay, that's not that hard of a job. I think I'm going to do that one because I want to drop by the cabin anyway. That was my thought process with buying that coffee there, is that MK's cabin is still going to be there, so alright, headed out. Yeah, I'll tell you, these are some of the most peaceful rides, like, as long as you don't really have a lot going on. But in my life, like, I can think of a time whenever I was on the road, kind of like this, and I was just in an absolute shitbox. That thing had no business being on the road in clear weather, let alone the kind of weather that this was. And it was nighttime, and it was awful, and it was, oh man, I was going to, I think it was like an hour and a half long drive at like 1 a.m. and it was absolutely putting the snow down. The ground looked like this. I remember getting like halfway through the ride and being like, it's a real, not like a miracle as in like, I was ever in any danger and I just by the grace of God made it out of it. But it was a kind of a miracle that things that went A-okay that trip, because it was really, I remember that being a very rough trip. But we made it. No accidents. I gotta start remembering I come out on the other side. Alright, what to do in here? That's right, I planned on, not coffee. We don't need to recook that coffee we already have, so I'm going to cook that coffee, and there is nothing else in here for us. So there are a couple secrets in this game too. I'm going to try my best to like show off. I'm not going to show off everything, and I'm certainly not going to collect all the bobbleheads for people who know what that is and what that means and stuff. Alright, now let's go get this other delivery out of the way so that hopefully I can get some firewood. Because I think we need firewood to get to at least one of these radio stations. Whoa, easy there. I was taking that turn a little bit too hot there. I was just a little bit worried. What a nice game. And it's coming up on morning too. I remember whenever I was, oh hey, this is where we're going to pick this up. What do we got here? Some flowers, and of course I'm going to come out on the other side. Whatever, that's not that big a deal. Now, I think all the stores are ran by like the same person. So like, we've got like a plant store here, and the plant store back at the other city that we were at too, and that this crazy girl's in both of those. She runs both of those stores. So, alright. let's go back over to, I think it was called Munton. What, isn't that what it's called? Munton, yeah. I remember years ago, as a teenager, I was staying at a friend of mine's house. This was the first time I ever stayed up, like, very, very late. And he had a couple windows in his room, and they were doing, like, oil drilling in a hill that was over... that was near his house, which was one of the directions that the window faced. And I remember I looked out his window and I was like, damn, that platform has like must have a lot of lights on it. I was like, because it's like so bright. What is that? And he was like, Dr. Dirk, it's 5 a.m. That's the sun. All right. So Munton is this way. I don't know. Now I've pulled so many kind of all-nighters, like, you know, now that I'm an adult and stuff, it you know, it doesn't faze me too much. I'll tell you, like, if I have to do stuff for the day, it's, of course, you know, like, there's a dread that overcomes you whenever you're like, oh, fuck, man, I gotta go to the bank today, and then you're like, oh, I haven't gone to sleep yet, you know, it's 8 o'clock, but at the same time, like, a day that, like, I'm completely off, like, I don't have anything to do for that day except shit around the house, like mow the grass or something. I'm like, well, you know, this is kind of nice watching the sun rise a little bit. There is about 2 times out of the year that I wake up or like early enough for the sun to come up, and I have usually like bacon and toast. And I don't like to make my own toast at home because it's not like a hassle to make toast. In fact, I would consider toast probably one of the easiest things that you can make at your own house, right? But it's a little bit of like a pain to put jelly and butter on something, you know, to put it on like 2 or 3 slices of toast. And I'm like, you know what? I'd just rather maybe have cereal or something, because I usually don't even get up early enough for breakfast, or like if I'm up early enough for breakfast, I'm usually working, and I like to work until like lunch anyway. Yes, I need to go back to that. To that like mart, the market or whatever. Let's see, that's Munton, and that is not where I need to be. I need to be over top of Lopton, which is dead ahead, right? Yep. Okay, I got situated there. Anyway, as I was saying, so there are about 2 times out of the year that I really like to like wake up, you know, very early and kind of watch the sun rise a little bit and have like just myself like a big good breakfast. And I don't know, those are like some of my favorite days, I think. Now, I'll say that, you know, it's kind of up to a coin toss whether or not I stay up very late on, like after that on those kind of days, but alright, I am going to pop in here. I'm going to go ahead and drink the energy drink real quick. What is that? That's the bakery. I don't have any business in there. You know, it's kind of interesting. I don't know why they do, like, they leave the cans and stuff. Because, like, you know, you have cups, right? And the cups in this game for the coffee and the tea, like, you don't throw those down. So I don't know what the point is in, like, the energy drinks. I thought you might be able to recycle them or collect them and give to somebody, but whatever. All right, so I need wood. And I think, yep, we have 4 firewood. Gotcha. All right. We are going to head to the broadcasting station, which I'm not sure where it's at. So we can follow this road. Yeah, actually, let's just follow this road completely all the way out of here. And then it'll curve down. And then whenever we hit a bridge on our left, that's when we know we've made it to the radio station. Okay. I think I might... Yeah, I have, like, mail. None of these... I think these are all, like information about like the map or the camera or how your jobs work, how to cook, and then congratulations on being hired. Nothing like, you know, game breaking or any, like, nothing you absolutely need to know right that very second. Of course, they all come in usually like response to something that you've like done. So the first time I had a package fall, I got like the little email about like, oh, it's okay, accidents happen. All right, so this is the bridge that's going to be on our left. I was talking about coming up, and I had said that I need the firewood, and I think that is because this like there's like a radio tower that stacks up, like goes up pretty high into the sky, and we will freeze to death if I don't do this correctly. So you can die in this game, sort of. I'm not sure I'm going to get a chance to show that off, but I'm not going to talk about it too much unless I die. But like, you don't die necessarily. You just like, I don't know. There's like a respawn mechanic. I can't think of another game that kind of does it like this, but like you just like keep respawning and you have to go through like this maze. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about it. Whoa. Oh boy, we're going clean off the edge. Please blow my shit up. Well, whatever. I now have no idea where I'm at, and I think I have my truck stuck. Oh, brother. Alright, so I think I need to head up this way. I've completely lost myself on this now, because I had an idea of where I was going for. Yeah, we're fine. Oh, man. The first and only time I was ever in any kind of a vehicle accident was on snow like this. They had released us from high school early because the weather was so bad, and I remember I was driving home, and I didn't think I was going that fast, but apparently I was going just too fast, enough fast to slip, and my car did a 360. Now, again, I was probably going 15 miles an hour, really nothing special, and that thing, it just whipped around, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just going to get back to even ground, and I'm going to let myself get warmed up and then get ready with my lighter here. I'm going to let myself like get back to stable ground, and I'm going to call my dad to come give me a hand. All right, so we have got our lighter. I'm going to use this until we probably get up to the like landing that's coming up here. You'll see what I mean. There's like this first set of stairs, and then we should have like another set of stairs here very soon. Yeah, this set of stairs. So I'm going to easy now. I need to do the firewood. My camera's catching a little bit. Okay, I think we're good. No, I didn't even pick up the firewood. Well, we're probably gonna die. That's okay, I guess. Oh, there comes the lighter, and nope, it doesn't look like it's working correctly. So we are probably gonna die here real quick. Wow, the music stopping is like so spooky. Hey, at least we still have 2 more pieces of firewood whenever this fails. So that's what we call in the business foreshadowing, where I was yapping about the maze earlier. I'm going to just pull out my lighter. It lets us keep our lighter. Like I said, there are just like eerie points to this game, kind of, but nothing like that should be out and out scary. I don't know what the idea is behind like the sound effects or like, you know, anything that's going on here. I've never seen anybody run into anything, you know, back in these kind of areas. There's been like theories from people that like if you like follow the sound effects in a specific way, that like, you know, you might unlock something, but I haven't seen any real indication of that in this game. Usually what I do is I just like eventually after you like walk so far, it should kick you back. Yeah, like that. Pretty much what I was describing there. Now, where the fuck am I? Okay, I think we were falling out of the sky there. I don't know what that was all about. This has been one heck of an ordeal, hasn't it? I'll be interested to see if it let me keep my firewood or not. Okay, so this is where I think I fell off that cliffside earlier, right? No, I actually don't have any... No, I'm completely turned around. Alright, I'll be back fucking whenever I'm up near that radio station. 1 second. Alright, we're back, ladies and gents. Full transparency, I had to take a little break. I was getting a little bit frustrated there. But that's okay. So, I plan on putting the fire at the same place. Oh, shit, you know what? I forgot to do my lighter. I might actually have to put it right here. Okay, so just don't panic, I think is the plan. Build the fire, okay, and then lighter, okay. I just got a mail about weather, so I wonder if that's, you know, indicating that the weather is getting worse or can get worse or might get worse. Okay. So let's get warmed up here. I'm going to relight my lighter so that I can hopefully warm up faster and retain heat as we climb this thing. All right, I'm going to read that weather notif, I think, whenever I get safely back in my car. So, worst comes to worst here, I think, as I'm climbing this thing, and once I get all the way to the top, and I get it, like, I get inside, I think if I die coming out here, it'll automatically put me back in my truck, but keep the radio on. So, again, once, like I was saying, worst comes to worst, at least we'll have the radio activated, even if it does kind of screw me. All right, and I got a plan for some cheese for the third radio station. So, all right, so that fire, I think, generally burns for about 2 minutes. So I'm going to warm up in here before I go back outside. And then hopefully we have enough fire left. I don't know if maybe the best way to track how much time I have left is to watch the timer at the bottom of the screen. Like I said, I just kind of hope that I don't end up screwing myself here, among other things. All right. We have the fire lit, and now we are racing down to get to... We have a lighter lit, racing down to get to the fire. Sorry, getting back in the saddle is always a... Well, it's not difficult, but you know how it is. Getting my feet back wet again. I needed to rest my voice for a little bit, for one thing. I got a drink of water, and like I said, this game is not frustrating. I shouldn't have been frustrated there, but I did. I think I just got nervous trying to light a fire for the first time. Now, speaking of fires, those fires there, we can light to... cook on a pot while we're out and about, so we don't have to go to the cabin every time. But I'm not going to need coffee for a little bit, so I'm not too worried about it. Having said that, though, I still would kind of like I would like to have some wood just on the off chance that I need to use it. So what next? I want probably like a super expensive one of these, probably 49. That looks like the most expensive one. Yeah, let's take it. And we're gonna have to go from, ooh, this one isn't gonna be so bad actually. We're gonna have to just go simply from the bottom of Munton to somewhere over in town. Maybe it'll be somewhere further in the town. I'm glad that they decided that their range of casts that they were going to use is still like a fairly finite number, even though it's still, I mean, it's not a lot, but it's not like a little number of people either. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we're coming down off of this radio tower hill, which is, got me a little bit like, I don't want to wreck. I think that everything has like saved and we should be fine. The third radio tower I'm going to hit hopefully right after we make this next delivery. Well, maybe I'll get gas too. Gas has been kind of expensive, so I also don't know what kind of gasoline we use. I assume just like normal. Well, I guess if this is in where did I say that this game probably takes place at? Like Europe or something like that. So maybe petrol. Although I think I was making that assumption based on the side of the road, but I don't think that easy auto. Okay. I don't think they drive on that side of the road, do they? I actually don't know. I know in Australia they drive on the other side of the road, and of course my point of reference is America. I'm American. If you weren't so clear, the obvious is pretty. The accent I think should be pretty obvious. I'm kind of a little bit lost, but I still think, yeah, this left here should take us to Munton. Yeah, Munton and Winton. And then it's at the base of Munton. And then Winton is the town that's over top of the cabin. All right. Oh, yep, almost forgot to turn my lights back on. This is kind of a dumb little thing, but let's see. That's Upper Munton, so this is at the base of it. I don't know why I keep doubting myself here. I remember one of my favorite... Well, yeah, I would say it's a favorite childhood memory of mine. So like I said, this is the last time I'll say it, I live in a pretty rural area, and we took like roads for like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to like what was considered a pretty big city, and we went school shopping there. My mom would take me school shopping, well, most years anyway, and let's see what this guy has to say. Oh, Seb spoke so much more than you do. So this Seb character talked more than we do. Of course, we're a silent protagonist. Also, remind me, I have to tell you something. I've forgotten already. Okay. Anyway, so she would take us school shopping, right? Or, me and then later us whenever I would have more brothers and sisters. And it was like super... We had finished all the school shopping we had to do. Must have been in July, because school for us usually started in August, and it was nighttime, and the only thing that you could see, like, as we were driving on the road, it was so sleepy. The only thing that you could, like, see was the lights that are over top of highways. I'm not sure what they call those, if they even have a word for them, but like the lights that hang over top of highways just for miles and miles and miles. And this is gonna also seem kind of dumb, but I had a Shrek 2 CD at the time, and we were listening to it in the car, and there's a song in the Shrek 2 the movie that's I Need Some Sleep, if you kind of want to set the vibes for what that night was like. And man, I don't know, it's just something I'll never forget. All right, we're headed down for Weston. I don't know, it's just like something about this game reminds me of that. That's why we're even talking about it. I'm not just talking just to talk, even though that's what I always do. But I just brought it up because, like, you know, it feels like, you know, I'm driving through this town the whole town feels asleep, regardless of, like, what time of day it is and whether or not I go in and I talk to people and whatever they have to say. This game feels very, you know, I'd already said that this game kind of makes me sleepy, but beyond that, it feels like a sleepy game. Now, I don't want that game. That's been a little bit too, or that music, that's a little bit too upbeat. Now, I really like Rainless. I can't remember how many people are credited in the credits, but I think it's only like 2 people, the dude who made the game and then the dude who made the music. But I could absolutely be wrong. Yeah, at a certain point, it just hijacks. Oh, man, I lost all my boxes. Okay. At a certain point, I just lose, like, complete control of the radio. Like, I can't change it here, so we have to listen to, what was it, like, Factory something or other? Soho Ying Factory. And I think this is where we go down the hill for the third radio, or at least that's the way I'm going to do it, because we have another path that we can take, but it'll cost us more firewood, and I'm just not really willing to contend with that. It's just such a big pain in the ass for me. Yeah, see, this is the song I wanted to listen to, another Soho Ying song. I think this one's, I just said it earlier, Rainless, that's right. I don't know. I like the music for this. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Stardew Valley. I can't remember if I already talked about Stardew Valley earlier or not. So I'm not sure where we are delivering this to in Weston. I guess there is an upper and a lower Weston, though, isn't there? Alright, must be the lower Weston that we're headed for, but this was a pretty good paying job, all things considered, considering that how not really far we actually had to drive. I don't know, I guess we'll go lower. That's probably where it is that I have to deliver. Just keeping my eye out. There it is. What store is this? The cafe. That's right. It's also kind of interesting that we, have to deliver it to the outside of these places, whereas we have to pick it up on the inside. Although I suppose that's how deliveries kind of work in real life, isn't it? So, you know, you drop it off. Well, you, like, can, I guess, pick up a parcel from somewhere and then, like as a delivery driver, and then, you know, send it out and then deliver it to somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe my ass is showing there a little bit. But I keep having this notification at the top of my screen, and I have no idea what it wants me to look at. Goals, maybe? Yeah, everything looks fine. I'm gonna work. Oh, because I bought the, I bought that pot, of course. I'm an idiot. So we got 64, almost 65 bucks, more or less. It says be on the lookout for deer, but I haven't seen any deer in this game. You know, I was thinking about moving in my life, and I thought maybe somewhere like up in Alaska would be really nice, because I don't like driving on icy roads, but I mean, if icy roads are all that you ever have to drive on, I mean, you would probably get used to it, and I don't know, I just kind of felt like that would be sort of nice. So you can you probably saw it through the trees there just a little bit, but there's a there's like a, kind of like an aerial light a little bit down there, and I'm going to, what I like to do, and I haven't done this more than the one time that I did, but just kind of get us in a position here and then just lay on the reverse. This will let you keep as much control as possible over. I guess we could potentially reset if I need to. Now I do want to like keep a certain amount of speed though, as I'm like sliding down this. Okay, Easy now. Now, this is probably going to get real steep and real hectic. I'm worried about whenever I get into these. Okay, switching to drive. Okay, not so bad. Now, maybe I pulled the trigger a little bit too early here. Where the hell is my landing at? There should be like a radio thing around here, I thought. Yeah, it looks like I pulled it just a shade to the left. That was my mistake. Oh well, I'm going to give it another shot. I'll be back in a second. Alright, this time I'm going to aim a little bit more to the left, and I mean like probably a fair bit more to the left. Yeah, even still, like I'm going to maybe just hound this way a little bit. And also hitting like the reverse or the accelerator really causes me to lose like a lot of control of the position that I'm facing. So I see the radio tower there. Man, maybe I should even go further to the left. Okay, that's easy. We still have some control over this thing. All right, I'm going to have to let off a little bit. Oh man, I might have to do a third time's the charm. I don't know. It depends on how this goes. All right, I'm whipping it back. Oh, ho, 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 ho. How lucky can you get? All right, so this is how I like cheese this little area a little bit. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to balance, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to balance that. That's what I think is kind of annoying. Anyway, let's go in and activate this third radio tower. Now I think there is a bonus radio tower, but we can't activate it for a little bit. I think what I would like to do, because I went ahead and filled up on gas and I drank another coffee just in case you didn't notice. Oh yeah, also we'll probably blow up off this, right? No, we're good. I'm going to go ahead and open up that gate and see where where we can meet MK next and what he's asking us to do and stuff. The objectives that we are given are relatively kind of simple. Like, they're not super involved, any of the objectives, but, you know, delivering, I suppose, is like the main avenue to achieve those objectives, you know. All right. Oh, I hear MK on the other side of the gate, like, playing his little tune. Reminds me, of course, of the, I never played them, the Animal Crossing games, I think. There's a couple of them, or a couple videos I like to watch about them, but otherwise I've never, like, been that interested in playing Animal Crossing myself. Okay, it's good to see you here, he says. I need you to get the supplies from the dam, but it's guarded by more gates. Not as big as this one, though. Seems like with enough force, you could smash through them, so we have to go to the easy auto and get set up with like a new bumper. Yep, bumper bar. They'll still make you pay. It's not their fault. You'll probably need to take some more delivery jobs. Okay, so we are stuck on this side of the gate for now, which is okay. I mean, we have a little bit of money, but not like a ton. He's also advising us of a fishing pole that we could buy if I wanted to. So let me clear off these objectives. So we did that. We got to the security gate. Bumper bar is $100. That's fine. We'll do some like little pick-a-uni fucking deliveries here. Hopefully nothing too crazy. Now, I wonder, is this just simply like a Smallton to Smallton delivery? Well, where did I even come in at? Okay, we're in the bottom left. We're in Clifton. Is there like Clifton? We could do Clifton to Dampton. Yeah, that's a fine delivery. Fuck it. Let's do Clifton to Dampton. All right, pick up from the pawn shop in Clifton. We'll leave MK to his devices. All right, so we are going to grab this, and then we're aiming for, what was it, like $100? I should probably sort of slide for about 150 or so. And then I also saw that we have, what is that other objective? How much was it? It's like really expensive. Yeah, like 125. So I didn't get the fishing pole the last time that I played. I'm gonna get it this time, but I don't know if I'm gonna show me just like grinding for it or not. I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do about it just yet. Okay, so here is this character once again. I've done my own research on these deliveries and have determined that they definitely contain something suspicious, like cardboard. Okay, maybe he was kind of supposed to give us like a more cardboardy look, and these look like milk cartons to me. Ah, lovely, and there goes most of them. All right, so we're headed to Dampton, and I'm just kind of going based off of what I remember from that map that we saw, and we're going to want to hang mostly lefts all the way up and around this lake that's coming up. Ooh, easy. Oh, okay, we can actually take this. I wish that I had the ice tires, and hopefully I can make this jump here. At this rate, I might be able to show off one of the bobbleheads. Bobbleheads are like these little accessories that you can get for your truck here. Like I said, I'm going to see if I'm able to get them. I am a little bit worried about not having the snow tires. Easy now. Alright, I'm going to leave that there. So they're like these little snow cat looking things, and they unlock bobbleheads. I forget, I don't even remember how we go in the first person in this shit. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick. Okay, left click. And you can see the little crazy cat is our bobblehead. And we can change it, I believe. There are 14 in total, I think. Oh boy, I'm losing more of my package. And now, is this Dampton? Let me see, lower Dampton. So there's a lower and an upper Dampton. I'm gonna guess that I'm not in the correct Dampton, but if I follow this road here, I can just drop down on the other side if this is not the correct Dampton. We'll eventually get a indicator telling me that I'm within like so many meters of it, if I'm remembering right. Okay, so we come down. Oh boy, we've it's never good whenever I just all four wheels are off of the ground. That's usually when I can tell I've lost complete control of the vehicle. Now, there we are. Had a little bit of trouble getting my truck closed up there. Alright, so we're looking for the delivery spot. There's the depot. And where is this going to? Just some like random house? Alright. I want to close up the bed. Oh, well, we'll do that here in a minute, I guess. Alright, and we didn't make as much money, I guess. Again, I guess, like, you know, we made the amount of money, but our tip wasn't as good. Now, I kind of want to go Dampton to somewhere. Ooh, or Smallton to Clifton. So, Smallton to Clifton. So my pickup is pretty well on the other side. You know what? Fuck it, I don't want to do that. What if we just do another Dampton to... I don't really want to just do Dampton to Clifton. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. That extra $1 is not worth me going all the way over to the other place. And we're headed for the bar from here, I saw. Dampton to Clifton, right? Yeah, pick up from the bar. Wow, I've completely already kind of lost the plot a little bit. Let me pick... Yeah. So we are down in... No, we're not in Clifton. We're up in Dampton. That's right. We're in lower Dampton. That's where I keep getting so confused. And there's an upper Dampton. I don't think I'm going to be able to simply take a road here up to the upper Dampton, though. Let's take a look. No, that was like a little shortcut that I took there from the upper Dampton down to the lower. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I followed production of this on... Twitter for like a little bit. It's nobody's fault, but the person who like made this game didn't put out updates very often, so I can't really think of anything like very specific that I remember seeing other than like, you know, there was going to be a delivery game. And honestly, just kind of the way that things are, I about half expected this game to not come out just based on the premise. I have a huge business idea for you. Let's see. Picture a vending machine that sold other vending machines. Well, better than some things I hear vending machines sell, I guess. What is probably the coolest vending machine that exists? Not like talking about utilities and stuff, I guess. Now, what the hell? Is there like a delivery here? What's the problem? No, this can't. It isn't giving me like a delivery for here. No. I think we're bugged. I don't think that's right. Okay, let me make... Yeah, Clifton. And it's telling me to deliver it to like... the other side of this house here. They don't seem right at all to me. Yeah, like over here or something. I might have to reload my save. I don't know that this is right. Let me maybe just drive away a little bit. So yeah, we picked up in Clifton, and I thought we're in Clifton. It's telling me to go to Clifton. What? Okay, well, let me ask you this. Does this say where I have to deliver it? Oh, I think this is bugged. Let me go inside of a building and then back out, and if it's bugged, I might reset my game just to fix this. Let me hop into the bar and then right back out, and we'll see if that fixes my ordeal. Okay, and then I'm also going to, I think, right? Yeah, we have a, it says I have a delivery here. Let me take out the beer bottle, just put it down, pick up payload, put it back in. Hop in the truck. Yeah, that's It's just bugged. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to refire this back up. Oh well, I could abort mission. You know what, fuck it, we're here. So somewhere in Upper Dampton, hopefully over to... No, Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. Oh, okay, I see what I just did, because I'm in Dampton and I needed to go to Clifton, but that's fine. Oh, these much more expensive jobs anyway. Clifton to Smallton. Yeah, because we're in currently Upper Dampton. Okay, I'm fine with that. Sorry about that bumbling there. I was just, I guess, in my head off that one. I forgot completely where we were at, apparently. I'm going to follow this again. Yeah, that's not going to work out, is it? Alright. Here's what I'm going to do. Because I'm kind of meandering here, I'm going to pick up that delivery, and I'll see you whenever I get to deliver it. We'll skip a little bit here. I'll be back in a second. Alright, so we're pulling up on the docks here at Lower Smallton. I think we have to take kind of a weird, not like a weird angle or anything, but like with the gate being where it is, we have to deliver this in like a little bit of an awkward way. I was kind of thinking about it. I'm considering just like cutting out the grinding. I don't know. I just don't know how interesting that would be. So I think what I'm going to do is, because I've like showed off delivering and stuff, and like, you know, I'm just going to be delivering in this small town for like, I don't know, until like $300, and then we'll go on a little spending spree. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is just... let me get the next order set up, and then we'll go from there. So how about Smallton to Clifton? If it was Smallton to Dampton taking the bridge, oh my god, that would be awesome. But alright, so easy eats. Alright, well, I'm just going to grind for a little bit. I'll see you whenever I have like, excuse me, a little chunk of change or something. I can't imagine this grinding would be interesting, so I'll see you in a minute.
And I show a rosy on my chest, 'cause I'm a wanderer, yeah, a wanderer. I roam around, 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 around. Oh well, I roam from town to town. I go through life without a care, and I'm as happy as a clown. I with my two fists divine, but I'm going nowhere. Oh yeah, I'm the type of guy that likes to roam around. I'm never in one place. I roam from town to town, and when I find myself falling for some girl, yeah, I hop right in that car of mine. I drive around the world. Yeah, I'm a wanderer. Yeah, a wanderer. I roam around, 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 around. Let it go, let it go. Oh yeah, I'm the type of guy that likes to roam around. I'm never in one place. I roam from town to town, and when I find myself falling for some girl, I hop right into that car of mine, drive around the world, 'cause I'm a wanderer. Yeah, a wanderer. I roam around, 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 'cause I'm a wanderer. Yeah, a wanderer. I roam around, 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 'cause I'm a wanderer.
Alright, I have just been absolutely busting my hump here to keep gas in this thing and get enough drinks and stuff to stay energized, and what else has it been going on? I guess really that's probably about it. So let's deliver this. This will put me over 300, and I had the foresight to do this delivery in the area where we need to get the upgrade from, which comes from the what is this thing called, the EZ Auto. So we've talked a little tiny bit about the story. I guess let's buy this before we talk too much about the story. We're buying the bumper bar for, what was it, 99 bucks. Every time I see you in that truck, I think it's Seb. Seb told me something the last time I saw them, but I still can't remember. I miss them. Bumper bars. These will let you smash through things. That'll cost $99.98. Oh, I was wrong. I was a penny off. Your upgrade will be installed right away. Hey, as long as you're putting it all in for me, I'm happy for that. Oh, nice. And then it looks like we have some tires here. How much do these cost? Can I buy them already? Let me see here. So that one's out of the way. I don't really care about fishing if I can buy these already. Let's see how much these go for. Every time I see you... Oh, he says the same thing. That's right. What's the damage, Randy Savage? That'll cost a whole shit ton of money. 300 bucks. Hey, fair enough. Hey, at least he gives me a reason to buy the... fishing pole. Because apparently I'm going to have to do a lot more grinding, as it were. Now, this was... I'm glad that I cut out the grinding, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it has been this for fucking 2 hours while I've been grinding this. It's more like an hour, maybe, but maybe like an hour and a half is what I saw my recorder said whenever I took a peek at it before I made sure it was still running. So we are following this up until we can get to the actual factory, which we're not going to get a very good look at right now, just by virtue of not being able to see anything at all. I'm very used to these roads now, so I mean, like I said, I probably have done, let's see, whenever I picked up the recording session, I had 11 deliveries, and then let's assume that I get $20 and I'm considering those deductions with like the gas and everything, having to buy food and stuff. So let's say $20 per delivery, 300. So that puts me at what, like 10, like 11, 12, 13 or 14 of the 13 or 14 different runs that I just did. So I almost doubled my runs kind of in one sitting. So I don't know actually where the let's see, what's it? I need to look at Dampton places. So that's Easy Cafe. Dampton, another Easy Cafe. Unfortunately. You know what? I'm just going to take a look. I'm not too worried about the fishing pole. I might just pick it up in my own time if I'm not able to find it. The fishing pole really isn't that interesting. I think it just gives us like a renewal, or like a free way to get, food and refill our energy, at least from what I've seen. And I guess it's kind of at the same time not free. Now, what the fuck am I get so turned around here. Well, all I want to do is follow this road here, up this path. That's right. So we should have, like, what is it, a bakery? No, there's the depot. Okay, so that should have my fishing pole inside of it. Right. Okay, fishing rod, 125 bucks. Please let me buy this. I spoke to Ellie for hours yesterday. This is the guy who was crushing on the broken robot, basically. We kind of get an idea in terms of the story. Well, we're actually going to have some boring shit coming up, and I'll talk about the story here in like 2 minutes. Cost me 125 bucks. Holy schmoly, I'll just be here, he says. Alright, so we have the fishing rod now, and we can complete. Now, it wants us to brew some fish soup. Ice fish in a hut on the fishing town lake. You'll need firewood and a cooking pot. Okay, well, I got the cooking pot, and I also have firewood. I think I'm going to wait for the storm to blow over, actually, because I can't see where the fishing spots are, and you don't want to spend too much time out on the ice because there's a monster out there, an ice monster. So anyway, let's break through this gate, and we've got to go into this factory now. Like I said, kind of hard to see anything, but whatever. Alright, so we enter, we take the elevator down. So I can talk a little bit about the story now. We've been told to gather supplies here. So we get kind of a feeling from the people that we talk to. It's pretty clear that they're all like androids or robots or something like that. But there's not necessarily people, and it's not really clear to me. Are we like also an android? I mean, if you take the thing on the left there at its word, that's a little energy bar, right? And so there's one point in terms of, this is probably a like a little robot deal, right? But then at the same time, you tell me what robots get refilled by food. So okay, so here we are at the bottom of the factory, or I guess this isn't really the factory, is it? This is like just kind of some building. So we walk to the right, and the character MK earlier had told us that there are supplies to gather down here. Those supplies, 2 walkie-talkies, so we can pick them up. I don't think we can use them for anything just yet. I'm going to put them away for the time being. Now, there is a secret in this room, actually. You count these shelves, you go 1, 2, we're counting up to 4, 3, 4, and behind the 4th one, in between the 4th and the 5th one, there's a little path you can take. I'm going to go ahead and whip out the lighter again, because it's very hard to see back here. Now, I was talking a little bit about the story, right? I was talking about, like, I think it's a good guess that our character is a robot. I think everybody in this game, at least that we see and that we talk to, are robots. And I also kind of feel like you might be Seb, but I at the same time, I kind of don't think that you're Seb. It's funny, there's a lot of information in this game, but at the same time, there's not really any answers, so it's kind of up to you to draw your own conclusions. So yeah, at the end of this kind of deep, dark little path. Sorry, I just kind of wanted to put that up against the wall there in case there was anything to actually see. Turns out we're going to have quite a few secrets to go over. I'm not going to be going over each and every minuscule secret, but okay, so here's one of those secrets, right? This is a computer in the fishing town's kind of like little factory area. So DD77 buffer 01 transcript. So I think that this is MK's transcript, as I understand. So he's talking about this unknown character again, the deliverer who came before us. Seb said, no, what's happening, why? And then this is like a second transcript. He's asking, do you remember when this place was full of life again? Talking about MK. This is MK talking to Seb, presumably. Even seasons of decay later, somehow you convinced me to stay. Also, there's like some dialogue from some of the NPCs around that have talked about like how it didn't always used to be snowy. So something is going on that's probably causing this snow. How cruel it is to let us feel when our time together was fleeting from the start. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. No speech detected. So I can actually show you a way that we can skip walking all that way back there. If you just fall off the edge, it'll automatically put you all the way back to the left. So that's a little bit of a time-saving joint. Anyway, time to leave the factory. We have our walkie-talkies. So yeah, I don't know that there's Easy Company is kind of like, seems like it's the villains because they've like cut off other people's access to like places like the fishing town, or they own all these businesses and stuff. But I don't think that there's ever necessarily implicitly any evidence, at least in game, that I've seen where it's like these guys did something that caused it to snow all the time, or if like it's happenstance. I don't know. There's a lot going on in the different layers of the story, and we'll get a couple different endings maybe under our belt and start thinking about it a little bit more seriously. There is Morse code that I think you can hear while accessing the radio around this building, and it I believe it like is decoded into kind of like bitmap basic art of a cat. So I think it's also coincidentally called cat.wav. Alright, so the hydro dam is done. Yes, we do need to fish. Let's go through my goals real quick. So we infiltrated the hydro dam, bring the supplies to MK at the security gate. We'll do that. You know what? I want to go fish real quick, just real quick. Okay, the wind is still a howling. I just kind of said that I would go fishing earlier, and I should bother to, right? Especially since I said I would. Now, we're looking for little fishing huts on the water, and I'm going to show you why, like, we don't want to drive out to them. I guess now will be as good at a time as any to give you an example. So as we drive out, there's like this ice monster that will, like, I think it's described as an ice monster in game, will like drop you into the ice, but that doesn't happen if you easy just walk onto the ice. I'm trying not to obviously let the truck get onto it. I'm always worried about it that it'll just like simply drift into it. So you want to walk out here onto the ice. It will continue to freeze, so you do want to prepare a fire. Now this fire actually lasts a lot longer than like one that's say outside. I think it's about 5 minutes in here when compared to outside where it's 2. Looks like I've completely missed the mark. Let me aim it a little bit more squarely. Okay, that worked. So there's apparently like a big splash. Again, I never fished in this game whenever I played it the first time. Okay, maybe that's it. Nah, that must not be it. Okay, we're just learning a little bit here. This isn't something I'm supremely knowledgeable of, other than the fact that like apparently this is for the best consumable item in the game for, whoa, there it is. Perfect. So now we got a fish, and I believe we can take that fish. Let me put a cooking pot on the stove and we can cook it. Let me see what happens once we actually get this thing cooked up, and maybe I'll just go ahead and fish just while we're waiting here. While I'm waiting for that fish soup to cook. Is fish soup like a common thing, like in all the soup that like any of my family and stuff eats? Because I'm not a big fan of soup. I might eat, like, I don't know, tomato soup's good, chicken noodle soup is extremely good, especially while you're sick, but I can't say honestly that I'm the biggest fan of I might do 3 fish soups. I can't say that I'm the biggest fan of like things like vegetable soup and stuff like that. I would prefer to just eat the vegetables raw. I don't know. At least we're getting kind of a quest out of the way, and I accidentally pulled the trigger early. You know what? I'm fine with not catching a third fish. I think I'm just gonna take this second fish soup and leave. Like I said, the timer in here I believe is altered to about 5 minutes on the fire, which is kind of nice that you can do like your own little fire in here. And I have how many? I got firewood, so I could stay in here for like 20 minutes and fish if I really wanted to. Oh, and it looks like it's become nighttime. So a couple things that I want to do before I gun it and just leave. I want a big fucking job. I want a huge job. Big old fat paying job. Let's go for whatever the hell this one is. This is probably going to take us all the way to Snowy Peaks from here. And we have a pickup over in Dampton. All right, cool. And now that we actually have the ram, I'm gunning it in reverse. Now that we actually have a ram, we can get to the other side of town a lot easier than we were before. You know, before we were going Easton over to Weston by virtue of like the long windy road around. Nope, now we can get over there the easy way. I don't know. I was just reading like a lot about this game because I was debating like showing some secrets. I don't care about other ones. I'm gonna show off a bunker for people who know like what the bunkers are and stuff, but I'm not gonna like bother to go to each and every bunker. I don't think they're kind of annoying to get to. Admittedly, I don't know where every single one of them are, and the things that they give you I'm kind of like on. Do you mind, says this character. Sure, no, I don't mind. I'm just gonna pick up this box and head on out. So I only have to do like 2 or 3 big fucking orders like this. And speaking of things I only have to do a couple times, let's go ahead and get the fishing out of the way. Only looks like we got about 2 more quests. Bring the supplies to MK at the security gate, which is just like simply exiting the town, if you remember right. Nice. I don't know. If you can be very assured of like your safety in a situation like this, this is probably the best kind of rides to be on IRL. Just like really putting down the snow. You can't really see like probably more than like 10 feet in front of your car. But whenever you actually have to drive this and there's a level of danger to it, like I would say a situation that's comfortable like this is if you've ever taken like a bus on a really long trip and it starts snowing like this. Granted, there's some level of danger in the thing, but I don't know. I trust the bus driver will handle all of that. Alright, so we don't need to go to Smallton. I think Clifton's where we're aiming for, right? Yeah, Clifton, and then we'll go up this way. Gotcha. Wow, there was something else, I don't think important that I wanted to say, but something else actually interesting to say, and to just, it's like, how many words do Eskimos have for snow? Like 1 billion? So, alright, so, I am a little bit concerned that I can only see about 10 feet in front of me. The weather just is getting worse and worse around here, isn't it? Alright, I'm trying not to gun it too quick. So that's to Smallton, and then this is where it divvies up into the tunnel going back, which is left, and then on the right, Clifton. That's right. So this will take us to Mountain Town. Is Mountain Town only as far as I have to take this package? Because if so, that's pretty sweet. And I still haven't had cause to eat the fish soup yet. Like I said, I'm going to wait until we get about, a little low and stuff. Alright, so I'll probably start hearing the humming from MK before I see him, if I had to guess, just by virtue of how fucking snowy it is out here. Alright, cool. Here he is. Let's see what he has to say. What's up, MK? He says, great, we've got the handheld radios. I just finished with the gate and it'll now stay open for good, so we can do deliveries to the other towns again. Thank you for your help so far. I guess I owe you an explanation. There's something wrong with the shopkeepers. Every day that passes, they seem to be getting more ill. So, it is kind of true. I was seeing, apparently some of the shopkeepers, if you talk to them, too much, they will just do like hex binary, which is just like pairs of numbers like over and over, which translate into like certain text. They've grown so much since you started, and you've given them all a reason to keep going and to keep me going. I know a way to help them. It's not perfect, but at least they'll be here. So we need to get ice chains at the Easy Auto here, and we need those to get into the factory. I'll meet you there. It's just through the tunnel in Weston. Good luck out there. Alright, I think I'm gonna do just a couple big runs. I did kind of like a time lapse earlier, so we can afford. I wish that the weather wasn't so incremental right now for these deliveries, but maybe it'll clear up as I actually transition into the next. Oh, very lovely. This place is actually clear. So now we have to go to the actual mountain town. We're going to Snowy Peaks. This is Mountain Town that we're in, and one of the last missions that we have to do. There we go. The menus for controller anyway isn't exactly the best. Okay, $299.99. Alright, I'm going to need a little bit more oomph than that. I paused as I was going up. It, I think, was about half the problem. Alright. Anyway, so we've got a couple big deliveries to do, and then I should have the money, especially if they're going to pay out like this. And then on top of that, if we don't fuck up this order too much, we'll get some good tips. Oh, speaking of not wanting to fuck this order up, I can show you what duct tape does, because I said we could buy it earlier, right? But I didn't show what it did. We can take duct tape and duct tape down the cargo, and then we don't have to worry about it ever falling out. I think that's how, I haven't actually tested this myself because I don't usually do this. Yeah, it's definitely way more stable. It's almost like it's perfectly part of the truck now. So as long as I keep having big orders like this for one, and then for two, long orders, where I'm gonna do several town stretches, I don't mind springing to just use the tape. I'm definitely not gonna buy any more tape, but I think I get so that tape was $10 or so, maybe even almost half of that, and I've got 7 uses out of the tape. So I guess if you're struggling, there's that. And I was trying to think yeah, there's not really all that much shit to buy in the actual stores. A couple cosmetics, a couple of gameplay items about very specific things, but I do kind of wish there was more stuff to buy. Not that I even come close to having an issue with this game. It would be kind of cool if there was a sequel to this game. I should look up and see what this person has plans of doing next, because I don't know. I waited a while for this game, and this game is pretty good. I was actually, I figured, I was ooh, this would be something fun to play for the channel years ago, and I think that I was correct. Oh boy, watch out, crows. Good thing you can't hit those things, huh? So I didn't show this off, but you can actually pick up birdseed from the stores and kind of trade it with the crows. You just feed them outside, and then they'll give you a certain amount of money back. I was having a hard time telling how much more they gave you. Like, I think birdseed costs like $9 or so, and they probably give you like almost $10 back. So you're like net gaining like $1 for each one that you feed, but then also you kind of have to have a fire outside to stay warm. I don't know if it would hurt you to be in your truck and try to feed them or not, like if it would fuck anything up, but I don't know. I just bought the birdseed to just have the birdseed and just used it while I had it. It doesn't do anything else besides that. So wow, this is extraordinarily sleepy. We're on now like my third day of recording this, and I'm instantly fatigued. Maybe if I change the station, let's put something on a little bit more upbeat. Oh yeah, the news, that'll fucking do it. 99.9 is good, but what about this? Ooh, I like 101.7, but we're gonna gamble higher. 88.1, yep, let's just do 101.7, that's good. I wonder, well, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, the weather is inclemental here. Ooh, and we are delivering to the base of the radio tower pretty much, which is like, this is almost like an end-to-end, one of the longest fucking treks that we can do, it looks like. Well, at least we're getting paid well for it. And, you know, even though the snow is putting it down, like, really fucking heavy, it's not that bad, I guess. Like, you know, we're pretty well close to done at this point. And if I only have to do this, like, 2 or 3 times, that isn't going to be that bad. I do think after I make this first delivery, though, whoa, even though I'm not going to have to grind for nearly as long, I do think that I'm going to... I do think I'm going to cut a little bit because that's going to be kind of boring. Although I was like looking at the footage and stuff, and I really only cut out about an hour and a half of grinding. So people really shouldn't feel too bad about that. But I was kind of like, damn, that's like a huge chunk that I cut out of this relative, because it's like, you know, the video is an hour and a half long and I cut out an hour and a half of like the driving. Now, granted, I wasn't saying anything, so you're not missing anything. But I was also just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how much, like, it is just grinding, right? So I couldn't imagine that people would really care all that much about, to see that. Like, people probably only really want to see me, like, you know, actually make progress in this game. And then part of this is, like, we can kind of have an idea of what tips look like a big fat tip. So, speaking of, how much does this job pay exactly? Well, I was hoping that it would show. No such luck. I guess we'll see. I think it was like $96. So if we end up getting over $200 on this delivery job, I would be really happy about that. My plan is to do another one of these big jobs, and then maybe a third one, and that should shore us up on like gas and everything too. So, alright, Snowy Peaks Radio Tower, which is where we had to deliver this box. So we pretty much went from a bakery 2 towns over to drop off whatever's in this box. So maybe it's like a big wedding cake or something. Good thing we got it taped down if so. Alright, so this is where it's going to. I doubt that they're holding any kind of a wedding out here. Alright, let's drop this package off. We're at $84, and we'll see how much we get here. Like I said, over 200 ideally. Nope, no such luck. Alright, so looks like we didn't get tipped too fat there. What is like the most expensive of these that we can get? Damn, that one's just going to... Alright, let's do Fishing Town. We'll have to pick something up in Mutton. Alright, I do think that I am going to cut here because this is kind of boring. I guess I only really have to do like probably 2 or 3 more of these jobs since they're not all going to give me $90 a pop. But I'll be back here in just a minute. I want to get like, I don't know, $350, full tank of gas, and just make sure everything's good. I'll be back here in just a second. Alright, so I didn't super plan it out this time, but our delivery actually puts us at the Easy Auto with just, like, well, it'll be a little bit more than enough money, but with enough money to buy the tires, and then we're also in the right place, so that's really nice. And this is like the last really expensive upgrade that you have to get, so it's been so nice to play with all our friends the last few days. MK must miss Seb so much. I can't imagine not having my closest friend while everyone else has found each other. Aw, so so sad. These should help you keep your speed on the ice, and I think that is like not only the ice that we drive on, like the ice lakes, but it's also the ice that is like on the road too. Now we'll see if that's true whenever I step outside here and Excuse me, gotta drive around a little bit. We'll shut this. Now, I'm kind of wanting to be a little bit, I don't know, cognizant of, like, you know, how much money we have, how much gas we have and stuff. I'm gonna do a delivery to Mountain Town. Probably just whatever the most expensive one is. Let's go... Where are we? I think we're in Clifton currently. So we've got a pickup from Clifton. I actually kind of want to... No, that goes to Snowy Peaks. I want to go to Mountain Town. Okay, we'll go Dampton, maybe? Yeah, I don't want to go up to Smalton. That's fine. We'll go up to Dampton. Pick up from Easy Bakery. And I'll go ahead and nix the goal so that we don't have to see that. Next goal is to head to the factory just west of Mountain Town, which is one of the only tunnels that I have yet to take right now. Okay, so I can show you how the tires work now on the ice because there's excuse me, I don't know why I'm so coffee all of a sudden. Maybe it's my wood stove. I just filled that up, so that's probably what it is. A little bit of smoke in the lungs never hurt anybody. All right, so anyway, we are now headed to up to the Dampton, but I did say I want to show you on the ice because there's another radio station out there. There's one more that I think we don't have activated. Yes, this 88.1. I'll go back to the nice music so you can actually hear it while we're driving. And I would like to be able to see the little island before we get onto the ice, so that I don't just kind of get caught with my pants down, so to say, with that monster, like, oh, I don't know where I'm going and stuff. Although, I think that there is, like a light out here. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just gun it and see how it goes. Okay, so we need speed. I hear it right behind us. Now, we should outpace it. Yeah, so this is towards the bridge. Wow, that ice monster is really, really loud, and I'm really, really lost. Okay, well, I've somehow managed to shoot us clear across the ice. I don't think that's what we're looking for. Wow, this is just like so fucking dark and so loud for me. Holy cow. I don't see even the red lights blinking that I was talking about. I just want the opportunity to get off of the ice, I think. There we go. Alright. Now, because of that, though, I have no fucking clue where I'm at. In terms of the road. Our visibility is low. I guess, yeah, okay, so this is kind of what I was thinking. It looks like we're on Easton, and then we should be able to break through that barricade and go to Weston. That's right. So we probably have enough money for one more good upgrade, right, for our vehicle, like, or not upgrade, sorry, fill of the gas tank. Easy Bakery is what we're shooting for over here, right? Yes, there's the light on. Alright, Easy Bakery. And I want to do this so that we have, like, enough money comfortably for gas. The guy at the gas station told me to check on Ellie, but she's only said the same thing for a little bit. I wonder if I, like, pop in and talk to her, if she'll say anything else. She says, tell Fortino not to worry about me, will you? And then a string of weird letters and numbers. I'm falling asleep. But I feel happy. Okay. I will have beautiful dreams. Damn. Yeah, you seem to really not be doing well. Okay. Anyway, I'm hoping that we get a fucking weather transition here sooner or later. I don't know about going out on the ice in this, actually, because this is not great. Damn, I might just have to fucking make another trip back here. I don't know. Let's just drive all the way around. Oh, and I lost the cargo already. Because I really wasn't paying that much attention. Well, where the hell is my payload now? Oh, man, I'm losing control of everything. Let's see. No, where is my payload? Maybe I, like, can't have the payload in here? Well, let me get turned clear the hell around. Yeah, it's on the other side of this gate here. Whatever, fine. We'll take the fucking really long way around. I don't care. I just don't... Oh, and you know something else I could do, actually, where I won't have to worry about this? Fuck it. Let's put the duct tape on. Oh, I also did test out the fishing soup, and all that it does is the effect of tea and coffee at the same time. So it helps make you warmer and gives you a little bonus energy like a coffee does. Oh, okay, so I can actually see the ground now. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I've got an idea here. We're going to pick this up, put it on the ground, and then I'm going to drive out to where the that station is out on the ice. At least now I can see, right? Alright, so there's the ice monster. I'm actually going to cut it this way. Alright, well that didn't do me no good, did it? Son of a bitch. I need more kind of like going power when I'm going down like that. So I'm going to take this cliff here instead of just falling down. There we are. Okay, that should do us. Now, there's a bit more of like a go up-ish part of this that I'm hoping to hit. Other than like these steep embankments. Alright, kind of just skirting that. Oh, there it is. Alright, cut her hard. Whew, and we just barely did it. Okay, so this is the Morse code that I was talking about. I'm not going to play it very loud because, like, this game is kind of loudish. But it's like do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And it's, what it's actually translated into is, like, a bunch of different codes. Like zeros, or like, binary into fucking hexadecimal into fucking, like, a bitmap. I don't know. Like 4 different translations you have to do to finally, like, get it fully translated, and what it translates into is like a little tiny like bitmap image of a cat. So alright, so to pick up that payload again, I believe this is the direction that we're headed. Oh boy, yep, that's pretty much a straight into a joint, isn't it? Oh, I hear it coming up quick. Yeah, it's like, it should be like right here. Ah, man, I can't believe I've gone and just lost complete control of this playthrough. I honestly, kind of the weather's fault, and it just keeps putting me right on it. It's either like, just fall straight into the ice. Okay, well, at least we're right beside the payload. Yes, please turn off that fucking annoying ass beeping. Oh, brother. Alright, at least, like, we're in kind of like the just do everything real quick. Let's see, that goes to Dampton. We're looking for Clifton. Right, Clifton? No, Smallton. Yeah, not Smallton. We're looking for Clifton. At least, like, this is the last little string of things that I kind of have to do, and then we'll be at the end of the game. Having said that, though, this is still going to be like 45 minutes worth of shit to do, in between walking everywhere, driving everywhere, doing the exploration that we get unlocked kind of whenever we, get one of the endings, and we've got secrets to uncover. So this way up to Clifton. Hopefully our delivery joint isn't like too obtuse whenever we get over to this mountain town. But I don't know, mountain town. The other place is Snowy Peaks. And there are no deliveries for the factory, for better or worse. For better, because the thought would be maybe they would be more expensive deliveries. For worse, being that, like, you know, it would be a pain in the ass. Oh, and there goes our fucking cargo. I've dropped this one hella times. I'll retape this one down. I of course, untaped it whenever where the hell is my tape at? I untaped it whenever I picked it up to drop it so that I was fast enough on the ice earlier. Alright. And I don't think that there's a great reason to. Yeah, it's just so you can listen to cat dot wav everywhere. I thought for some reason that it unlocked some other stuff, but apparently I was wrong. Alright, so that's the 4th and final radio station done and over with. We are headed... the tunnel should almost like it should be like the gate and then the tunnel right behind it, right? Yeah, there's the like railing. Yep, perfect. Into the tunnel. Wow. All right. At least this place is clear. That fucking fishing town has just got like so bad of weather. All right, where are we delivering to? Okay, we're going to Lower Weston. I think I'm going to hold off on gas just for the moment being. We have all of the movement upgrades. The first thing that I'm going to do, I think, is visit a bunker. And then I think I'm going to do some cutting around so that I can get directly to all the bunkers without too much drive time with just you and I. So this is for, Lower Dampton. There it is, right on the corner by the bar. Cool. And I don't think I'll have to do any more deliveries, but we'll have to see. Alright, dropping it off and closing it. Alright, so let's take a look here. So I don't need to do any deliveries. Yes, it did say that I was going to look at the bunker here. So the bunker, I believe, is in Upper Dampton. This is actually one that I have visited before myself. Not in this playthrough, obviously, but, you know, I actually know where this one is kind of what I'm saying a little bit. Our energy is a little bit low, which I'm going to refill before we get on the ice. So I believe it's right here. Let me drink coffee real quick. There we are. And then I'll put the rest away. Okay, so the best way, I want to see if there's like a sign that we can look at as we're kind of driving around. That's like the deer crossing sign. So pretty much just as you're entering Weston here. Now, I think it's on the right. Yeah, here it is. Actually, I just saw it there in the in between the trees. So if you look at the map, I'm gonna actually go local here. Now, you know what? I think I can open the map. Can I open the map? Get in the truck. There we are. So where we're located in Weston, I believe, is like we're just entering town. So like kind of like right there-ish where my fingers on this map are. But anyway, this is the first bunker. I'm going to go ahead and whip out the lighter so we can see when it... Well, I think that I can't enter the door with the lighter. But I'll whip out the lighter so we can actually see a little bit. There's not really, like, much to see in here. I think that there is... I think that's firewood that we just picked up. Some old broken down computers. There's a photo. I think this is just an energy drink can. So we'll... Is that a... Yeah, it's an empty can, so I can just toss it. Whatever. Yeah, two just cans and then like a photo we can't really see, but we can get a better look at it here later. All right, another secret that I wanted to do just kind of while we're here in town. We'll do another bunker here in a minute. I saw a fucking secret where like there's a chair on the outskirts, and I'm probably gonna like attempt this one time, and then I'm probably gonna have to cut until I actually get a successful attempt, because this looks like something that'll be a little bit difficult. So I got my headlights on just in case it happens to go dark, because I literally don't want to think about anything but what I actually have to do here. So it is the first like curvy turn coming out of Upton, I believe. Now, is that what this is considered as like the first curvy turn coming out of Upton? Oh, I keep forgetting I'm opening the map in a weird way. Yeah, I think it's like basically right here is where you want to be. Or should I go up there and look? You know what? I think I should go up further and just take a closer look. All right, I'll be back in one sec. Okay, we're on like the upper part of Upton right now, and I don't actually think that this is where we need to be. Yeah, I think it was on that lower part, but that's fine. I can still like... my thought with like being up here and starting the attempt was that like if I had to go lower, it wouldn't be that big a deal. So you saw earlier how I did like that little cheese with the radio, right? And like we couldn't really go up very high vertically, but like horizontally we could get some spread actually. So we're going to do something very similar here. What I was seeing on the video is that this should actually be okay-ish forgiving, like not the end of the world. We just continue horizontal here. Oh, now the music stopping was probably like one of the last things that I wanted to happen. Oh man, and it's actually not going like crazy fast like I figured it would. Okay, so this opens up once we take that turn that was back there. This is so weird. Down to here where we can see a chair. I don't think there's any significance of it. I wonder if it was used in promotional materials. I don't know. But anyway, there's the chair. We can get like a half decent look at it. I don't think that you like get anything from, you know, well, one being over here, but like more importantly than that, like I don't think that there's, you know, anything that like, I don't know what I'm trying to say exactly. You know, there's nothing that we get from that. There's nothing that like, you know, unlocks there or anything. All right, so we should be, I believe, in Easton. Yeah, we're in Easton right now. I'm going to fill up on gas before we go to the next bunker. So I'm going to fill up on gas. I'm sure it's going to be expensive, and I'll be back here in just a minute, probably right in front of the next bunker that we're going to enter. I'll see you in a second. Okay, this one here is in kind of an interesting spot. We are located in pretty much as far to the bottom left of the map as you can kind of go. Like, we are right about here. Well, maybe down to about, like, you know what? I think we're right about there, right where the fist is right now. And what we do is I'm going to use our bumper a little bit. I don't know if this would help if you didn't have the bumper. And we're just going to take it down like this. Hopefully we don't lose too much control of our vehicle. Okay, easy now. I want all four on the floor. All right, well, that's close enough. Okay, and then we just follow this down. There should be like kind of like a little bit of a sharp drop at a certain point. And that's kind of how you know that you're close to it. Oh, I think maybe that's it over there. Yep, looks like it. Perfect. I like all these like little secret bunkers and stuff. Like, of course, they don't really have like a ton going on with them or anything. I don't know. We'll take a look at all the... Oh boy, that's really spooky, isn't it? Let me turn on the light with the lighter. Yeah, it's a... this thing has like a green scarf. It doesn't affect... It doesn't affect, like, you know, how cold we are. Like, it's not like a freeze resistance or anything. I do think if you, like, load any other cosmetic items, it causes the game to, like, you know, drop the, like you get a different cosmetic item and you'll have to go all the way back down to the bunker in order to get this green scarf again. At least that's what I was reading. Now, I think I'm going to head up to... Snowy Peaks next, and I'll be back as soon as we're at a bunker up there, or if there's another one here. I'm going to take a look and see which one would be most optimal. I'll be back in a second. Alright, we're here with another one of these. Let me open the map. You'd think I'd learn that after so many times. So we are currently right about here, right before we enter Munton proper, the upper Munton. And I would guess, like, if you're just a person that likes to get very high in these video games, you might find this one kind of naturally. But what we're aiming for is at the very top of this hill, and I've got fucking 4 to the floor right now. I'm really just hounding on that gas. Hey, at least we're actually making it there. So there's a snowcat, right? And then I believe what we're looking for with snowcats, to remind you, are for the bobbleheads. And there is our third bunker located here in Munton. Should be pretty dark in here. Yeah, I think the rest of these, well, there's one that has a photo, but I think for the most part these are all like little scarf joints. Now, personally, I like blue a little bit better than I like green. Although green might stick out, might give you more of a earthy feel with this kind of just pure white and black around here. But anyway, the last 2 bunkers that we actually have to go to are located in the fishing town. So I'm actually going to pick up a job around here. We're going to go inner city and go to fishing town. Oh, nice. And our pickups from that, well, hold up. Where else do we got? I just want a super easy pickup, super easy delivery. Fishing town. Yeah, I don't want to go up to the bakery. Okay, I'm just going to pick this one up just because this ended up costing me a little bit more gas than I sort of figured it would. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to deliver this, and then I'm going to get us poised for the next bunker. I'll see you guys in fishing town in just a minute. Alright, so we're here for the 4th bunker. I know you aren't going to be able to see anything at all, basically, but we are right about here where my fist is, maybe a little further, maybe like right about there, and then we're going to aim for this way. Again, I know that it's going to be, you aren't going to be able to see very well. I'm actually a little bit worried about me being able to see the bunker at all in this fucking weather, but it should be kind of like, you know, you're kind of coming up on this hill. I'm trying to stay like closer to the flat lands, even though I know I have to go up at a certain point. Oh man, this is just incredibly zero visibility. All right, I think that, wow, we're just kind of hoping and praying at this point. I guess the visibility is getting a little bit better-ish. Oh boy, man, if I could just see anything at all. The weather in Snowy Town is just like, oh my god, so bad. I don't think... Oh, wait, there it is. Oh, there it is. It just popped out kind of in the middle of the storm a little bit. So this is the 4th one, and I'm actually going to just go ahead and take us over to the 5th one, too. We'll visit the bunker, and here it is. This one's gray. Oh, this one's white. Okay. I do like blue. I think I like a little bit better than white, but I do like gray. You know, it was kind of funny. So we're gonna go over to the 5th one because the 5th one is just really simply. So we're probably right about here right now. The 5th one is a little bit past the gas station up here. I think it is either that or it's like right here. One or the other. But I need to get gas anyway. So we want to fill up on gas before we head to the factory. I pinky promise you that. And I'm gonna just reset. I think it'll reset us till we get on the road. Yep. No, I was gonna say, you know, it's funny. There was I had a psychology teacher in high school that was like if you took his class for a semester, you would get like a college credit, and so I took his class because I was like really interested in going into college at the time, and he was like doing like a little psychology type deal. No, this is the tunnel to out of here. He was doing like a little psychology deal where he's like, colors affect like your emotions generally. That's why like children's stuff is like usually colorful and bright because you want children to be in like a good mood. And then like some interrogation like things are like they'll intentionally make it like bland colors to like wear down like an interrogation suspect's like morale and stuff like that. And he was asking everybody like their favorite colors, and he was like talking about generally like the mood, and it's like red, and he's like, oh, it's like passion, and red is like passion, and then somebody else would be like, oh, I like blue, and then he's like, oh, okay, blue's a really nice color. He's like, that's like usually more toned emotions, but more often than not, like kind of leaning towards sad or calm. And everybody's like, wow. And then he wanted to. It was one of those teachers that just wanted to like get everybody's opinion in that 28, 30 member class. And so finally he got around to me. He's like, what's your favorite color? And I was like, gray, I think, or I said it with a little bit more confidence than that. I was like, gray. And he was like, that is a very boring color. And then he just went to the next person, and I was like, what an asshole. Oh man. So here's the final bunker. And inside, I believe there is another photo that we can pick up. Yep, it's here in the back. It's this grayish looking one. And then 2 more empty cans and another firewood. So we are up to 6 firewoods. And we're going to take a look at the cabin. I can't forget that. That's another thing we need to do is stop by the cabin and look at our actual photos. So I said I wanted to pick up gas, and I had already given you like the warning, like before you start going for these endings and stuff, you want to make sure that you're completely topped off on fuel. Not necessarily so much, $15. Damn, I'm going to start getting my gas here every time. Although I suppose I kind of had like a bunch more gas than I had before. You don't have to worry so much about having your food and energy and stuff all the way topped up. I guess I do have like money and stuff, but you want to make sure no matter what that your truck is propped up before you go to do like all these, these endings and stuff, just in case you screw yourself, out of, endings, so to say. But anyway, we are now headed towards the factory town. Now, I wanted to talk about a little something since, I discussed, like, the bunkers and stuff. There's not, like, really lore inside of those bunkers, so I can't talk about that. But I'll talk about a funny little obsession that I have, or at least had, maybe not so much anymore, but I've had a big obsession with actually bunkers in video games. Now, initially, I don't know where it ever came from, like where that obsession, like I can't put my finger on something where it started, but I can tell you one of the first things that I ever ran into where I got to test that obsession was Fallout. And I remember I started Fallout New Vegas, and for people who are fans of Fallout New Vegas, you'll know exactly what I mean, but I got Fallout New Vegas, I bought it, and it was like I got it like $8, and I got it for the Xbox 360, and if you have the DLC, different things are like added to your map marker at the beginning for the DLC, but you're not meant to go directly to them. But I did, and I went straight to the Abandoned Brotherhood of Steel bunker because I figured it would be like a bunker I could go to, and that put me in the Dead Money DLC, and I was at Dead Money DLC like maybe like level 2. If I was not level 1, I was level 2, and so I played through all that DLC, and honestly my feelings were this game kind of sucks. But and then like kind of branching off of that, I like The Long Dark is another game that feels a lot like this in terms of like emptiness, and then like that game's more like survival and stuff, like you've actually got to hunt and stuff in the winter, so it's not exactly like this game so much, but it's kind of similar in terms of vibe and feel. Oh, I turned off the radio, it seems. Anyway, what else was I kind of saying? I like, there's another like survival bunker game called Sheltered, and I think they recently came out with like a Sheltered 2. Well, maybe not so recently now. It's just recent in my mind. That's like actual bunker survival games. The Mass Effect Andromeda edition like is about these things that they call bunkers, but they're not necessarily bunkers in my opinion. Anyway, so we've got one last meeting with MK before we go visit the factory proper, and start in on the endings. So we'll talk to MK. He says, "You've got the ice chains? Good. It's a straight shot to the factory. You'll need some speed. I'll radio you once you're inside." So we'd probably give him one of the radios. We have the other one. "I would go with you, but my programming doesn't seem to allow it. I've been trying for months to get in ever since." This is like another... we get some timeline stuff here, so it's probably been months since Seb disappeared, and Seb probably disappeared in a way that, like, you know, made him go inside of this factory coming up. Another thing about the factory you're going to notice, probably as we pull up on it, is the train railing that's to the left of it. So these trains have been running to and from this... You know, we've been seeing them in the background this whole game. They've been running to and from this factory pretty much the whole time. There was some other important stuff. Oh, this is like another point in the camp that, like, you're not a robot, because, you know, you would think, like, your programming would not let you in here either, right? I don't know. It's just another kind of, you know, you put points into all these camps, but whenever they end up completely equal, it doesn't really help with anything. Anyway, we are now here to this elevator. This elevator, I can't remember. I think it's a little bit longer than the last one. I think we can just go ahead and close out of this goal. I know we're going to be here for just a minute. And then I think we'll automatically whip out our radio whenever MK eventually starts talking to us. And then we might get an actual look at what Seb looked like with those pictures that are on the wall in Seb's... I almost said apartment. No, not apartment, in his cabin. Alright, so we are very nearly there, should be. At least it sounds like it. Ooh, it's the straight to silence. It always is eerie. Okay, so I plan on getting the endings in a specific order. It's going to be dark. Let me just pop out the lighter. Apparently there is a debug object in this game that you can kind of hack in. That's a lantern, which is actually brighter than the lighter. I kind of wish that I had that. Also, I feel like I might have stolen it at a different part in this game. Like, I feel like I had the lantern, but maybe I didn't, because I know I didn't do any, like, hacks or anything like that. So, okay, that spooked me a little bit. That happened the first time I played too. Do you copy? Great. Try to find a control center. So MK is, like, advising us while we're in here, and then I think he does, like, his own little monologue joint. He says, "Hey, I never got your name. I'm sorry for all this." So nobody has cared yet to learn our name. When you started up, I really thought Seb had come back. Seems like EasyCo has shut down cloud computed agents for good. So Seb was not a human, or not like a real thing. You know what I mean? Like, there are robots and then there are real people, and it seems like, even though they are anthropomorphized versions of people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're, is that what it's called? I feel like I'm fucking up words, but I think you can understand what I mean. I have enough grasp over the language of English that people can probably understand what I'm saying. Caveman trying to converse with a Harvard professor. Seb and I were friends, good friends. They were a little rigid around the edges, but we became as close friends as two ML agents could be. I'm trying to think what ML might be. Seb supported my dream of one day leaving this place I thought was terrible, but I think their heart was here with the shopkeeper. So Seb wanted to stay, MK wanted to eventually leave. They saw each other a lot more through the delivery, so, you know, Seb grew to appreciate these people. I was just fixing things in the background, so, you know, they have a reason. MK has a reason to leave, Seb has a reason to want to stay. Seb ultimately gave up their job to be with me. Okay. Now, I'm pausing there because I accidentally missed a bunch of dialogue the last time I played by just, like, walking and reading it at the same time. So, I'm going to be kind of careful about that this time. Maybe I should have just been walking instead. It's also got, like, some, like, cinematic music a little bit as we're walking up. Anyway, let's take a look at us. Yeah, we're looking good still. Also, thankfully, things don't freeze around here, so that's nice. Now, continuing on. Wow, I was kind of hoping that we might get another Seb dialogue eventually. This is what I get, honestly. And we're looking for a control center while we're in here, but I think we'll run into a lot of other bullshit before then. And I'm hoping we have a conclusion that we can draw by the end of this. Hopefully. Alright, after Seb shut down, all I wanted was to join them. So Seb shut down, so Seb for sure was a computer, or a android. That's why I was trying so hard to get into the factory, but it's been really nice seeing the shopkeepers blossom into their own selves. All I want now is to keep them safe, for Seb. Okay, even if it means rebooting them. So, I think there's been a little bit of talk about, like, you know, them being bugged. And apparently, like, these lights that are blinking down here are actually blinking in Morse code with the things that the shopkeepers say. Like, if you decode them, they're the different lines that the shopkeepers say. So, I would guess that those are servers that are actually below us. I was reading about that. Sorry, I'm thinking about that now, because before I thought these were trucks the last time I played, but yeah, I would guess that that light that they're talking about down there is the different servers for the different, you know, androids and stuff. And then you also look at the ones that are dimmed, and you draw the conclusion most likely that those are androids that are no longer with us. Alright, I'm gonna... well, I can't close the lighter. So we've got a computer here that's connected to all kinds of stuff, and it says to choose. So there are 3 endings in total. We're going to get the reboot one first. All right, so it's got like all this command prompt looking bullshit here. Yes, reboot. Reboot? No. Okay, let's just take a look here. So we can interact with SD units or hydropower. I'm just going to interact with SD. These are all the like the androids that are currently fired up. Faults are present. Reboot SD units or go back. So we're going to go back and just take a look at hydropower real quick. The different turbines are all on. We can also shut down. So again, 3 different units. We're going to, or 3 different units, 3 different endings. We're going to go ahead for the first ending, which is reboot. Let's see. Some personality may be lost. So this, you could probably have an idea of like how these endings are going to go a little bit. Do you copy, says MK. It looks like you didn't need my help after all. Is it true? You've brought our friends peace for now. I'm the only one who will ever know. Okay, so, you know, the other androids are happy, but they're broken. It just doesn't feel right keeping them in this cycle. There has to be another way. So like the cycle kind of continues a little bit, sort of. Like, all of the androids, like, got reset, so, like, whenever we go to talk to them again, which is what I'm going to show an example of, but whenever we go to talk to them again, they're going to be like, oh, hey, nice to meet you, you're the new delivery guy, right? So they all function now, again, like, they're not broken anymore, but, you know, they're not glitchy anymore, but they're also not, like, happy. Like, they didn't get a chance to do anything personality-wise, and the only person who's ever going to know is MK. So I'm going to drive back. I want to swing by and see if MK is still at the fire and see if he has anything to say, and then I'm also going to go visit a shopkeeper, and then I'm going to cut to another ending because nothing changes. Your next walk in there and everything, like, nothing changes then, so I'm going to show that off. Let's see. I guess we could go to the bar. I've already met the guy in the bar. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I don't want the bar to be my example. I want the depot to be my example. Because this guy in here is one of the starstruck lovers, and I don't know. I think it feels nice. Alright, so we talked to him. He says, I'm Fortino, not that it matters. Can you keep a secret? I don't even care. I'm hopelessly in love with Ellie at the bakery. So things just kind of repeat. Anyway, I am going to eat a fish soup, and I'm going to head back into the factory. I will be back here in just a few minutes. Just a second. Alright, so we're back here to the control center. We've got our lighter. Nothing's, again happened other than I've just walked back here. So this is the shutdown ending. This one's a little bit more finite and has pretty serious consequences, especially in-game gameplay wise. Alright, easy co. So the hydropower next. They get their power from, the hydro dam, and we're going to shut it down. All shopkeepers will shut down. Again, pretty fucking serious decision. Have an easy day. Excuse me. So, we reboot the game again. I don't think this shuts down things like the train, for example, which I kind of hear in the background, but I don't know if that's just like a, beginning level type joint or whatever, or beginning game type joint. But in this one, you noticed MK did not call us. the same way that he did before. So I'm going to turn around. This is actually going to be kind of eerie since it's nighttime. I kind of wish this happened during the day a little bit, but so definitely keep an eye on your gas tank, because there's no shopkeeper to refill your tank anymore. So this is where MK was waiting before, and we can go over to him, and he's not getting up. So we can't, mess with his fire or anything. MK is shut down. All the shopkeepers are shut down. I know that guy was like a mechanic, but whatever. I don't know. It says shopkeepers, so he counts too. Anyway, so I'm going to just pop into different places like the marts and everything. The first thing you'll definitely realize as you go into these places now is that with no electricity, there's no heat. The second thing you'll probably notice is that you are allowed to steal stuff, I believe, right? Can I just oh yeah, we just actually have to leave with the item. That's right. And then we can put it into our inventory. That's right. So I'm going to hop in and actually get warmed up here, and I'm going to show you, how you can actually use this to some degree of usefulness. Okay, so I'm gonna just keep popping out, we're gonna take these energy drinks. We've got 2 of them now for free. It's more important to say we'll do firewood, because that's much more expensive. That's like $20 a pop. I'll add that to our inventory, and I will grab another one. Now, the only thing about this, though, is, yes, sure, you're getting it for free, but these are the last of these items that you're going to get like this, if that makes any sense at all, because, they don't restock anymore. The employees are there to sell it to you and to restock. Well, if they're not there, they can't sell it to you, so you're allowed to steal, but at the same time, they can't restock either. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of load up on stuff. I keep forgetting that I actually have to walk out with it. The only thing I really care about is the coffee powder in addition to this, so I'm going to grab the coffee powder too while we're just kind of here. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab all of the coffee powder. And again, you're going to notice it's getting colder and colder. So, there's no lights on in these stores anymore, which is just a little bit eerie, I suppose. And we'll throw that in our inventory. Okay, so it's telling us to seek shelter. I'm not even that worried about if I need to, I'll stop somewhere and I'll light a little fire and I'll cook us up some stuff. I also think, all of the radio stations are now completely busted, so none of those are functional. Everything in the shops now are free though, so there's a bar, for example. I think that we'll just get a tea from that girl. Now, the important function of this, because this also can serve a function as much as it shuts down functions of everything else. Now, in the end game here, I'm not sure exactly when it unlocks, but it wasn't here earlier when we visited Easton. But in the pawn shop, there's actually a item that we need desperately. I guess I could pop into the gas station and show you how, we can't use that anymore. That's another thing we can't use. And I haven't even shown it off yet, but we also can't use our we can't start a job. The jobs are now offline. We could use our basic map here to navigate if we needed to, but you can have all the money in the world, but you can't really buy anything. So there's no more places to get gas. So I said we're gonna pop in over at the pawn shop, and I'm just kind of hoping that this works. This is the pawn shop in Easton, and yes, there it is. It is the let me turn on the lighter here. Right here, there's a little disc that I'm going to pick up. I also think I'm just going to pick up a blind bag just to pick up a blind bag. Is that considered retained? No, it's not. All right, I'm not that heartbroken over it. So we're going to take the recovery disc, which is something, once again, that they sell in the end game here. And we are going to head back. Now, I had mentioned earlier that you can run out of gas, and if you do, the heater in your car stops working. Your car still works, but it drives real slow. And then the heater stops working in it, so you can freeze to death. So you have the potential to lock yourself out of the end game here and come up with a dead save. I guess kind of soft locking yourself in a certain sense, which is something you absolutely, obviously don't want to do. So I'm going to go back and use this reboot disk on the computer. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Alright, so we're back. I cut us back a little bit here so that we could look at the servers as we're kind of walking up, because I wanted to show that the servers are all off now, which again, we're just drawing connections here, because before they were blinking, the shopkeepers were working, Yeah, I can't believe that I thought these were trucks before. What an idiot. I thought it was like a delivery fleet. Also, with this, like, there's no music, there's no, like, industrial sound effects. Thankfully, there are emergency lights, and, the computer still functions, so there must be some kind of, like, emergency power. But I think we have to actually put the disc in, and then, of course, there's heat here too, or else we would have froze to death. So maybe we don't have to put the disc in. Maybe just picking it up is enough. Well, I don't know why I'm so gassy here at the end of this playthrough. All right. Recovery disk detected. SD unit recovery. So this is the best of both worlds. It lets everybody be reset. It turns everything back on. Repair and restore SD units. So everything actually goes back to normal and gets fixed. So have an easy day, it says. I don't know what this is. This symbol. Whatever. It feels like half of the box from before. But anyway, I believe this is one of the other, you can see a snow cap beside it, so I assume that you could see this trucking game if you went and hunted it up. So, and that is the end of Easy Delivery Co. And you can kind of make, again, an assumption at the end there. So what do I kind of think is going on in this game exactly, right? I want to talk about that a little bit before we go visit the cabin, because I promise we're going to go visit the cabin. So I think, this is just my guess, I think whenever so Seb was this android, and all the androids have all these memories and stuff, and Seb is actually one of the first ones to leave, die, get shut down, whatever, that's important to these people. Maybe the florist or something, or the person who makes outfits got shut down first, and they didn't really think too much about it. There's no there's nothing 100% that says that, but so Seb is the first one that's getting shut down, as I kind of am understanding it. And obviously MK liked them, and there's something about MK that makes him a little bit different. I wonder if it's because he's not a shopkeeper, but he's instead a technician. But anyway, for some reason, Seb or MK is able to keep a hold of his mind, and there's a need for a new deliverer in the Easy Company, so you are that deliverer. Now, MK almost mistakes you, and all the other townspeople mistake you for Seb. I assume that's because you are the same model as Seb, but you don't have your memories, because MK was talking about towards the end of the game there that the cloud memory stuff is not working anymore. So you're Seb, and at the same time you're not Seb. So people who say that you are Seb, you're kind of right, and the people who say that you're not Seb, they're also kind of right. You're kind of, you are and you aren't at the same time. So what's happening in those endings? Well, we talked about in the first one that the memory of all these people just kind of reboots, and but they don't go crazy anymore, which seemed to be the problem that they had to begin with. Was I would guess that's why Easy Co is systematically shutting them down or resetting their memories or something like that, is because they are kind of going crazy and buggy, like we saw there at the end. So resetting them just kind of gives us a little bit more borrowed time. Now, shutting things down obviously is shutting things down, shutting them down in a more permanent kind of way. We saw the effects of that. Now, to kind of finalize things here, in my thought process anyway, so what's happening at the very, very end of that game, the very last ending that I got where everything's rebooted appropriately? Well, I kind of think, if I had to guess, that is the bridge between all the problems, sort of. It reboots everybody, sure, but it doesn't reset them. It just turns them all on, and then it fixes whatever kind of a memory issue function that everybody is having. So everybody's memories kind of come back in this ending. So what that means is not only MK's ending, or I guess MK never forgot anything, but because there's no more, we lose control at the end there of that ending, and nothing else happens, right? It's not whenever MK called us before and was everybody reset, and it also wasn't Shutdown, where everybody was shut down and we got to see that. No, the game just flat ended and there was credits, right? So my assumption is that Seb got his memories back as part of this, because it was a reboot, right? And it was a memory recovery, and it fixes the issue with all the shopkeepers, and including the unit that you're playing as, Seb. So I think that you re-get your memories in this ending, and you go away with MK. Now, we're kind of filling in the story blanks there a little bit. I can kind of see like where you would look at this story and think that it was like kind of like a sad story about like, you know, Seb is dead and MK is just like a person kind of keeping their dream alive, and he is kind of, but you know, I think there's a little bit more to it than that, just based on the dialogue that, you know, we can get at the end there and stuff. And that's two leaps of logic we have to make. That we're, for sure, this Seb character, like, at least in terms of which android we are, which I'm willing to make that leap of logic. And then the second leap of logic is, like, what's happening at the ending there. And that's just kind of the vibe that I get from that ending, is that, you know, you get your memories restored and you probably leave with or are with MK. So I guess it's kind of sweet in that regard. So we're going to go to the cabin, which should be right here, and that's the very last thing that I would like to do for this playthrough. And then I think that we're done. All right, I'm going to park us kind of close here. All right. Oh, hey, MK's in here. Interesting. So we've got pictures. I was hoping, because I saw a video of this, I was hoping to be able to see the pictures a little bit better. It does kind of look, if you look at that picture, it's right above my head. You can definitely for sure tell that this is MK, because he's like orange. I'm going to replicate the image. And then like you can kind of see like, you know, somebody standing beside them kind of like this. I would venture a guess and say I'm right. I don't know. Let's see what MK has to say. You restored the shopkeepers. I didn't know it was even possible. If I'd known, you don't understand how much this means to me, my wonderful friend. Thank you 1,000 times. Thank you. I think that this means there's a chance I can find Seb again. I'm leaving right now. Even if it's just a small chance, I have to see if EasyCo made a backup. I'm confident. I'm leaving our friends in great hands with you around. You've done a beautiful thing. So I guess we were kind of right. Well, I still think I'm right about the first part. I don't know about... So obviously we didn't get our memory restored, apparently. But I think that I was right in that... That is... Actually, don't we have photo mode? Yeah, cam.exe. Oh boy. Is there a way for me to zoom in with this thing? I haven't yet tested this, the way that this camera actually works. No, I don't think so. All right. Anyway, that has been Easy Delivery Co. I hope you guys enjoyed. What is that? Just like another cabin building? I don't know. I kind of feel like sooner or later, somebody's going to kind of come through and be able to dissect more of this, or there will come a time whenever a sequel or like another game that takes place in this universe like comes along and gives us more answers. I hope that the person who made this game continues to make games. They definitely have their finger on the pulse for vibes and like gameplay. Like there was no part of this game where I was like, oh, I hate this game. They also like very clearly want to make something that's a little eerie too. So I wonder if I hope they'll continue that into their next couple of projects too, because like, you know, there's no part of this game that like was jump scary or anything, but there was definitely some eeriness to the entire thing. So anyway, I think that is enough of Easy Delivery Co. for the day. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I guess I'll see you guys all next week. Later.